Hey, trips that you plan for the next whole week. Bands too long for a nigga so cheap. And your flex OD, and your sex OD. You got it, girl, you got it. Hey, you got it, girl, you got it. Yeah, pretty little thing, you got a bag and now you wildin'. You just took it off the line, no mileage. Way they hitting you, the DM looking violent. Talking while you come around and now they silent. Through the Cooper 17, no guidance. You be staying low, but you know what the price is. Ain't never got you know it being modest. Poppin' shit, but only cause you know you poppin', yeah. You got it, girl, you got it. Hey. You got it, girl, you got it. Little baby, and I'm back in a Birkin. No 9 to 5, put the work in. Lost and all, I love them all. To me, you're perfect. Baby girl, you got it, girl, you got it, girl. You got it, girl, you got it, girl. I don't wanna play no games, fuck around, give you my last name. Know you tired of the same damn thing. That's okay, cause baby, you got it, girl, you got it. Hey. You got it, girl, you got it. You the only one I'm tryna make love to, picking and choosing. They ain't really love you, running game using. All your stupid exes, they gon' call again. Tell them that a real nigga stepping in. Don't let them niggas try you, test your patience. Tell them that it's over, ain't no debating. All you need is me playing on your playlist. You ain't gotta be frustrated. I don't wanna play no games, fuck around, give you my last name. Know you tired of the same damn thing. That's okay, cause baby, you got it, girl, you got it. You got it, girl, you got it. I don't wanna, yeah. You got it. Play no games. Freaky. I could learn a lot from you, gotta come teach me. You a little hot girl, you a little sweetie. Sweet like Pearland, sweet like Peachtree. Like that. I could tell you crazy, but shit kinda intrigue me. Yeah, I like that. Seen it on the gram, trying to see that shit in 3D, mommy. I know I get around cause I like to move freely. But you can lock it down, I can tell by how you treat me. I seen how you did, homeboy.
And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by... Nope.
We got Big Ball of Souls today.
The Maskers Massey.
And the Red Baron. Yeah, he's having technical. He didn't even get off the tarmac today.
And the Red Baron.
It doesn't work when you do it like that.
That was a good sound.
Thank you. It's like a sputtering.
Propeller engine.
Yeah.
It's good. Souls, how are you today?
I am Good.
Excellent. No one can see us doing it. That's okay. You just got yourself
It's for
10
the
points.
best.
10 points for you, Souls. Mass, how are you today? Not
I'm
how
alright.
will you be at the end of this football game. How are you now?
I'm all right.
Why are you guys wearing your colorless jerseys?
We both are.
It's Monday Night Football.
I know.
Didn't anybody get the memo this is a Thursday night thing?
Yeah.
Ooh, 10 more points for Souls there. 10 more points.
Racking them up early.
Baron, Red, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It is a very happy belated birthday to our fearless leader, the Riddler. One day removed on a recording of 11/25/2019.
You know, in like almost 3 years of doing this, everybody's got a post on Instagram for their birthday except for me.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Mass hasn't. This is too new.
You know, I gotta be honest. I think I'm the only one who's actually got a
No, I
birthday.
think Kyle got one time.
Oh,
No one knows when your birthday is. Isn't it like February 29th?
Ha! Not real every 4 years.
she was born.
It is real every 4 years.
I got the reaction I wanted.
Yeah, you did. It was good.
So, what are you drinking, guys?
Well, today, from Thomas Hooker Brewing.
Was there an L in there?
I did say Thomas.
Talmas. From
I
Talmadge
am
Hill
drinking
Brewing.
the ever so delicious Super Duper Double Citra.
I like that because he's now had this beer a bunch of times. It's obviously his favorite, and yet he still paused to look at the can to see what it was.
No. I have to make sure I say it right.
Okay.
Just like with the ranch
With the ranch.
and the whoa.
All right.
Another 10?
Oh, look at that guy on the TV.
Another 10?
Another 10.
Another 10.
Mass, what are you drinking?
A lot of bourbon.
Minus 10 for Mass. He didn't do it.
Well, yeah, but what's the beer you're drinking?
All right. I've been gifted the Lizard King Mosaic Hopped Pale Ale from Pipeworks Brewing.
Good thing your beer review is right now, so you didn't see what happened.
Fuck.
Yeah, he does have a lot of bourbons, though. He made the mistake of texting me, a liquor salesman. Hey, do you have any good brown whiskeys I could try? Because I'm trying to get into them. Yeah, I do. So the brown whiskey lineup today is Noble Oak Double Oak Bourbon, Blade and Bow, Kentucky Single Barrel, Kentucky Spirits, Wild Turkey Wild Turkey Single Barrel Kentucky Spirit, Bib and Tucker Small Batch, Crown Royal Deluxe, Oban Little Bay Single Malt Scotch, and Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean Rum Casks. We're not drinking all of them. Nice polo,
Well, we
douche.
do have
Hey,
to
came
take a
from work.
bourbon shot for the Riddler's birthday.
What?
We're going to take a bourbon shot for your birthday.
Look at that douche's polo. Did you come from work too, Rebecca? Camel
I
toe.
wore this sweater to work.
Makes me wish that I just, hey, I'd like to have some brown liquor today, and Paul presents me with 40. Brings out a
Well, the
suitcase.
difference is
Here's an array of
if I hand you this, there's no chance you throw up.
What do you mean?
I threw out this morning.
Shut up.
Ooh, he's getting it. Whoa!
I still love you. You guys know my history with the brown liquor
I don't.
Why did you say it that way?
because that's how he
With
normally.
the brown liquor.
I mean, I did like it, but
Because that's how he normally says it.
Massey, you know Massey can't handle the brown liquor.
So
Y'all be
I
tripping.
helped kill a handle of Tennessee honey with them and then died.
Ooh. Yeah, it's not really brown liquor. It's just like
golden.
White, yeah, it's white liquor with honey.
All right,
flavor.
so that.
What are you drinking over there, Red Bear?
the Riddler gifted me my favorite thing of all time, the Miller High Life, but not just a normal Miller High Life. As of last year, they came out with a champagne-filled bottle. I said that's really wrong. The beer in a champagne-type bottle.
Yeah, it's a 750 milliliter Bordeaux bottle.
And High Life being the champagne of beers is very appropriate to be bottled this way. And he bought me a case, something I always wanted, and now I have 12 of them.
Rebecca, what's going on with your hair right now? Okay.
Hey, Mass, just real quick public service announcement. I know that you, much like Mock, who is not with us today, loves the sound of the cork squeak and pop. But when you twist the cork and then pull it sideways, it breaks off. And if you break off a cork into one of these, I'm going to break off my foot in your ass. It was a very good dad thing I just did. I am drinking from the Goose Island Brewery, the Whiteout can, Paper Umbrella, which is a tropical IPA. Didn't know that. First word says coconutty.
Yeah, hit him with the
Oh.
Hit him with the Hit him with the
It's gonna be 3 hours of this. So, I have my expectations went from pretty high to pretty low. It's gonna be
Pretty
delicious in terms of the solid of beer, but I'm not gonna like the flavor. It's a coconutty, pineapple-y, hoppy paradise.
It's kind of a bummer
He
when you
said
find out it's
coconutty,
coconut.
pineapple-y,
Yeah, so I'm
and
pretty much drinking Malibu beer. Kendall, I found out the Cello distributor, they now distribute 16-ounce pre-made Bloody Marys in a can.
Really? Now that is a game changer. Is it any good?
I don't know, I haven't had it. No celery, though.
Because I could see myself doing that a lot.
Yeah.
well,
Wake
Kevin,
up.
I think you can see yourself doing anything a lot.
It's actually just a can of Old Bay seasoning, and then they put vodka in it until it just dissolves.
It's all grainy. I'd still probably drink that.
They should do like little cans of just shots, not bottle, little cans.
Well, that exists. Remember that thing, Kyle, when we delivered...
Those are the rock and rye.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a little, I don't know what you call it, 4-ounce can,
Yeah.
things like that. That's basically what you're describing.
Why would you want a shot in a can, though?
Why not?
It's kind of unpleasant.
Yeah, but, like,
You
why
can
would
shotgun it too.
a nip? I mean, granted, there are the Rebeccas of the world who take 6 sips to do a nip, but
If you could do it.
yeah,
Actually, it'd probably take longer than that.
no shot. One time we bought Rebecca a nip of Ciroc, and it took her a car ride to finish it. Now, let's put that in perspective. Remember where we lived at Eastern? It pretty much took her from the Eastern dorms to Walmart to finish a nip. She got no problem shoving it up her cooter, though, right at the end. It's gross. So are you off the air?
Oh, I'm back. I fixed the mic.
It was very quiet, so I couldn't hear anything in my headphones. All right, Souls, Toast of Excellence, what do you got? What do you got?
You know, I had one. But I'm trying to remember what it was.
Was it to Urban Meyer?
It wasn't Urban Meyer, but it was
I like the grunt. It wasn't Urban Meyer.
something important happened. But I can't remember what happened. Come back to me.
Was it to Frank Gore?
No.
But that was mine.
Okay, so Mass, go ahead. What do you got?
Frank Gore is now third all time on the NFL rushing list.
He's like 1,600 yards behind Peyton, something like that.
He'll make it there.
Oh, I got mine.
It's a lot. It's a lot of yards for him. That's probably.
Frank Gore is a cyborg, though. He's going to play longer than Brady.
Hope we're not.
I just don't know if he. I think his 800 rushing yard seasons are behind him now. Like, unless he just continues to go to teams that like don't really have an established backfield, and he kind of keeps killing it in the first few games, and then just does because like Singletary's the guy there now.
I think realistically, you probably wouldn't need like 7 years.
No, I think you could do it in 3, maybe.
Think so?
Yeah, 600 yards a year. I think you could do it. I don't know. We'll see. Red Bear?
Mine is actually like a toast of come on, man. So I don't know if you guys saw the Redskins, finally won a game.
Oh, Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins, on the sideline after the interception, taking a selfie. Like, come on, be aware. The
He
game's not over
he
yet.
missed the final kneel because of
Yeah,
it.
so they had to have like a
you see that,
McCoy
Souls?
go out there or whatever his name
Did
is.
you see that, Souls?
He's Keenum.
Did you see that?
I did.
Go out
see
and
it,
kneel
Nas?
at the final play.
Yeah, it was the final play of the game, and he was taking a selfie with a fan, so Case Keenum had to go out there and take the kneel.
That's actually kind of funny.
He should get fined.
I'm surprised. Like, maybe I'm not seeing. I just figured because everyone makes a big deal about everything. How this is not a big as of a deal.
Because he's stupid.
Now, is the focus really bad, or is the field like kind of repainted?
Yeah,
Painted.
Yeah, I think they must have played a college game. And not cleaned up.
My toast of excellence is to Ben Simmons.
For hitting a 3.
Making it for his career 3.
They're 1-0 when he makes a 3.
That's right.
That's a real stat they put on TV. It's pretty terrible. Mine's the Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Mine's the 2 for 10 Whoppers.
I thought I was going to say Dunkin' Donuts.
Why?
Yeah, what is that? What? Mine's the 2 for 10 Whoppers. I was also going to say Dunkin' Donuts. That's what you just said.
He said the Whopper thing.
Yeah, but you were like,
You said Dunkin'. That's my brain.
You know Whoppers are at Burger King, right?
Yeah, but he said Dunkin'.
I
Duncan
didn't.
Keith.
I said Brent Seabrook and Keith. All right, whatever, pepperonis. It's your new nickname.
Whoa!
All right, anyway, They debuted on the same day together in 2003, I think it was, and now they both just became the second and third Chicago Blackhawks to eclipse the 1,100 game played mark. So there's only 3 of them. Stan Mika and then them.
Did you just say Stanley Yunez?
No. Stanley Yelnats.
Whoa.
Bulls reference.
Whoa. Thank
Did you know that Stanley Yelnats' name is the same forward and backwards?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
What you talking about? I cracked those motherfucking beers, yo. Everybody shake them first. Oh, no, that's corked.
Will it work with the foil on it?
It's a cork.
It did work with the foil on it.
It's a
Oh,
cork.
I missed
Why, you
you.
want the foil on the bottle while you drink it?
Yo, Matt, your shoes are
Well,
untied.
last
Stop
time,
trying to have Goldschlager beer.
No, last time I peeled it, and I was like, well, this is a waste of time, and then I could just open it like that.
Yeah, you guys know that Derrick Henry owned the Jaguars?
You know that you didn't think he was a good running back?
He's not.
I mean, he's pretty good, Kyle.
He's good against the Jaguars.
He's good in general.
You know what's kind of
Not
sad
having
when
a good
Ryan
time with these.
Tannehill's doing good.
Not liking them?
I can feel the queasiness in my stomach.
Best thing to do then is probably just keep pounding the shots down.
Yeah, I thought you were like
fucking
sample throughout the night.
smoke.
Yeah,
Just pounding him.
you're like almost halfway through. All right, so Souls, break it down.
Are we doing the football thing first, or are we doing this first?
This first.
What football thing?
Are we going over week 11?
Nah, we're skipping it this week. It's going to take too much time. Sorry, Kendall.
I just like the music.
Or we can do it for like
Games happen, teams won, teams lost. The end.
Do you want me to do it really quickly?
Yes, I just want to hear the music.
I'll only do it because Mark's not here. He said he was Skyping in, but I don't think that's true.
We'll see.
Does anybody else think it's not true?
I know it's not true.
Kendall, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready.
I know. I'm just queuing it up.
Oh, my other toast of excellence was to Zach LaVine for becoming only the 3rd player in NBA history to hit 13 threes in a game.
Come on, YouTube.
All right, I'm ready.
Do something. This is for real. Oh, guys, an error occurred. Please try again later.
Oh, no, an error?
We gotta play an ad real quick. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. We don't endorse Google Chromebook, but if we did, give us money.
Or Chromebooks.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Target is, though. Not a sponsor. All right, on Thursday Night Football, DeAndre Hopkins' 2 touchdown grabs and Deshaun Watson's 298 yards through the air spoiled Jacoby Brissett's return to the Indianapolis Colts as they fall short 17-20.
Wasn't enough to get Kyle a fantasy win.
On Sunday, the New York Football Giants fall short to the Chicago Bears 14-19. Trubisky has a better than usual but still pretty terrible day.
Giants suck.
Allen Robinson, 131 yards and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley continues his struggles in the backfield. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers trounce the Atlanta Falcons 35-22. Jameis Winston, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Godwin, a performance to be absolutely befuddled by. 184 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Matt Ryan fucked me.
Matt Ryan sucked. The Denver Broncos get pounced by the Bills 20-3 as Josh Allen throws for 185 and 2 touchdowns, and Singletary adds 106 on the ground, and Cole Beasley 76 yards through the air. The Pittsburgh Steelers win a sloppy one against the Cincinnati Bengals 16-10. Duck Hodges, that's right, Duck Hodges replaces Mason Rudolph and throws for 118 yards and a touchdown in the win. The Cleveland Browns destroy the tanking Miami Dolphins. Baker Mayfield, 327 yards and 3 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, a century mark performance on the ground. Landry, a century mark performance through the air. The New Orleans Saints win a nail-biter against the Carolina Panthers, 34-31. Drew Brees throws for 311 yards and 3 touchdowns. Michael Thomas continues to set track towards the record with 10 receptions for 101 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore, also a good performance, 126, 2 touchdowns. The Raiders are stunned by the New York Football Jets, 34-3, as Sam Darnold throws for 315 yards and 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr, Jacobs, and Richard, all pedestrian performances. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Philadelphia Eagles 17-9. Russell Wilson 200 yards and a touchdown. Rashad Penny, the big man on the ground, 129 and a touchdown. The Detroit Lions continue their losing ways without Matt Stafford as the struggling Redskins find another victory, 19-16. Dwayne Haskins, his first career start win, with nobody doing really anything notable in this game except taking a selfie at the end. The Jacksonville Jaguars get owned by their daddy, Rick. I like that, D-Rick. Get owned by their daddy, D-Rick Henry. 159 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. A.J. Brown with 135 through the air. Tannehill, another win in the Titans jersey. Is it Minshew magic time again? The New England Patriots win a rain-out game 13-9 as Dak Prescott and company all underperform. Amari Cooper, no catches in the game. And in Sunday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers absolutely demolished the Green Bay Packers 37-8. Aaron Rodgers held to just 104 yards with 1 touchdown. Garoppolo and company combined for 253 yards through the air. And tonight, the LA Rams are away to the Baltimore Ravens. Streaky winning team versus a who-knows-what-you-got Rams team. Let's see what happens.
See, we always get it done in about the 4-minute. It's perfect.
All right, let's do one for all the hockey games so far this season.
All right.
Do. Souls is a gay ass homie. Souls.
Don't.
Souls.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
So,
Boom. Boom.
today
Boom.
is a
Boom. Boom.
segment.
Boom.
It can be a very
Boom,
long
boom,
segment.
Boom.
So,
Boom.
stay
Boom.
tuned,
Boom.
folks.
Boom. 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 Boom.
And the
Boom.
night
Boom.
You were just
Boom.
one too early.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
has come.
Boom. In the night. Boom. Boom.
Has
boom,
come.
Boom. 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 Boom.
And
boom,
the land
boom.
has come.
Boom. 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 Boom.
The
Boom.
tumble and
Boom, boom,
fall
boom.
from the mountain.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Light you
Boom.
see.
Boom. 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 Boom.
No, I won't shed a tear. No, I won't
Shit, it's here.
shed
I
a
went.
tear.
You know, Larry Souls was behind the refrigerator today.
Really?
Yeah, just some fun fact there. All right, Souls.
All right.
Spit it.
So we give a lot of love to, players. We don't ever give.
But what about the equipment managers? That's right. Top 10 equipment managers all time
Here we go.
in lacrosse.
What?
What? Sorry, I was just doing some lax stuff.
You should reverse that one. Yeah. Cross my ass
You want me to cross your ass?
with dots.
What?
I don't know about that, Souls.
Listen here, baby.
So we all did a lot of.
I am live and in living color.
Well, most of us did a lot of homework this week,
Oh!
and we put a list together of the 2 best coaches sent to 2000s from football, baseball, and basketball. We can forget about hockey since we don't know enough about it.
Most of us don't know
These
enough
are
about it.
facts.
All right.
For facts.
So we
For facts.
all did our homework about the 2 coaches. And we can present
So you
them
were doing
to-
a terrible job explaining this.
Well, you guys keep interrupting me.
But you're still doing a bad job.
So do it.
All right. Souls had the lovely idea that we were going to break down coaching across the 3.5 major sports in North America. So
It was a good idea. Good on you, Souls.
it was good on him. It's going to be a long segment, so no breaks. Unfortunately, that's why I was asking you with the whatever. But no breaks. We can't take any breaks because this is going to take a very long time.
Gonna take a break from watching this game.
Whoa! Hey, Souls. Did you like that one?
Suck it. Let's go Rams.
All right. But so yeah, as Soul said, we every coach, or it was an applicable thing to do so. There are a few organizations that have only had one coach, but since the 2000s, we broke down who we think, based on the sport that we were going about, who the 2 best coaches for that organization were since 2000. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I did NBA, but there's some 90s work in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just had to be done if they did some major stuff there. But we're going to go down. We're going to do a quick discussion on the 2 coaches, and then we'll do a vote
And
on
then
who the best coach is. And then at the end, we're going to do a bracket. 16 tier bracket, and 4 coaches from each sport. I have the hockey ones in the bank. We're just going to pop those in. We got the stats we need and everything.
One Gary Blackett.
as a group vote, what do we want to start off with first?
I don't know. I was thinking about this the whole ride home because it was like, I don't know how we're going to go about doing it. Cause
Baseball.
One person talking the whole time. You know, that's what I fear of.
All right, so we can do baseball first.
Unless you guys just want to go around and everyone read one card. Nah, we won't jump. So, Souls and Kendall,
Yes.
you guys did
Baseball. And for some reason, we did it alphabetically instead of splitting the leagues.
Because I was already starting it alphabetically.
This is basically what happened. Kyle's like, hey, I'm going to give Paul an entire league, and then I'm going to split the rest of them up between people. So, like, fuck him, you know, because Paul had to do 30 teams times 2 coaches minus 1 is 59 coaches. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I love him.
It's false. Mike D'Antoni all over this fucking...
So I started off with the first half of the alphabetical order. And we're going to lead off with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
All right.
Whoa.
No.
All right. So they haven't really had much luck in this category. But
Nope.
Oh, that was a perfect thing for the sound effect board.
so there's the first name, Bob Brenly. Okay. He was the coach of the 2001 Arizona Diamondback World Series squad. He had a record of 303 and 262 during his tenure. In 2002, he repeated by winning the NL West. So he won a pennant, he won a World Series. He beat the almighty Yankees.
Yep.
We all remember the Luis Gonzalez hit.
Yep. And the cool uniforms.
He was fired a couple years later because the team took a downward turn. People got older. They got rid of Randy Johnson. Kurt Schilling got old. So things just didn't work out for him. And then we have Torey Lovello, who was hired in 2017 to present. He holds a 260-226 win-loss record. He won NL Manager of the Year in 2017, and since he's taken over the team, he has not lost. He has not had a losing record. Which, in my opinion, is pretty impressive because that team had been through a lot of changes.
So much for this 1 minute per discussion thing. Kyle's over here giving like life stories.
Sorry. Forgot about that part. But yeah, that's what that's about.
So we're gonna like pick right now who I think.
I wish I had a pen. I'm gonna have a really hard time remembering these names.
Yeah, I got one.
Paul, got you.
Ooh, that was nice. Right into the dance. Does that dance have a name?
I don't know. The kid I went to high school with was doing it with Ennis Cantor, though.
I'm in. I think if you win a World Series, I think that immediately kind of puts you in the best of category. For a Diamondbacks team who's been historically not great. So I think it's just kind of a no-brainer for me. No disrespect. Credit where credit is due, but
So you're taking Bob Brun.
I am.
I also agree. I think anybody who can win a World Series in the dry heat.
Yeah, that's like the main thing.
In my opinion, I think World Series doesn't really matter because there's not really. It's about the talent that he was given. But I think Torey Lovello's done a great job taking that team where it is.
I understand, but I sort of view this in two different ways. I think talent-wise, I credit certain things to the GMs and all that. The coaches, the managers, they kind of get what they're given, and it's their job to, like, hey, here's your squad. Here's your, like, you're playing cards. This is the hand you've been dealt. Now, do the best you can with the hand. Like, the GM is the one who are dealing the cards. So I think there are managers who can have a great hand and still screw things up and have a bad team around them because it's on them. But I don't think just because he had great players doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve all the credit versus, now. The teams are different for sure. There's a lesser talented squad right now being successful, but I don't know.
Mass?
I'm going to be truthfully honest with you. I'm doing research for mock. I did not listen.
Bob Brun or Torey Lovello? Pick a name.
Torey Lovello.
So we got a split. Rebecca,
Thanks, Mock.
you're the deciding factor. Bob Brenly and Torey Lovello. What?
B.
Bob Brenly. All right, Bob Brenly won that round.
We're off to a great start.
All right. Then we got the Atlanta Braves. This one is pretty obvious.
Prove it.
The current guy.
Wrong.
Nope, it's the current guy.
Bobby Cox managed the team from 1990 to 2010. Had a record of 2,504 to 2001. Went NL manager of three. Why did I just write? Won NL manager of the year 3 separate occasions. Won the World Series in '95. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014. And won the NL East 11 times in a row. Then you got the current guy, Brian Snitker, because the other guy sucked between. He has a 318 and 292 record. Won NL Manager of the Year in 2018. Won the NL East in both 2018 and 2019. And the team has gotten dramatically better in the last few years. I'm going to go with Bobby Cox.
Bobby Cox, no doubt about it. I mean, 11 straight. I mean, that's unheard of. We know we're doing mostly 2000s, but the Braves, I think, were the NL team of the 90s for sure. Even into the early 2000s, like that was the NL team. Yeah, there's not much to be said.
Yeah. Paul?
I was actually. I mean, it's hard to argue, but and I know it's a little bit before, but I'm probably going to go with Bobby Cox's first run, the 78 to 81. He was better. No, Bobby Cox.
Mass?
Bobby Cox.
All right.
Also a great name.
This one's also pretty easy, guys.
Cox.
Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh.
Got a lot of sucky years.
Current guy.
We're going to lead off with Buck Showalter.
The Fighting
He
Showalters.
coached the team from 2000 to 2018. Has a record of 669 and 684 with the club. Yep, under 500. But that's the best one they have.
Yeah, you wait till we get to the NBA. There's a few of those.
Won AL Manager of the Year in 2014. Made playoffs in 3 separate occasions, 2012, 2014, 2016. And won the AL East in 2014. He made the team better.
Yeah, I mean, Buck Showalter, that team has been
Did
bad.
he make
many
the team
times.
better, or did Machado make the team
Oh,
better?
he made the team better.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy. I mean, it's funny because
Well, I didn't name the other guy.
it doesn't matter.
I'm going to tell you the other guy. His name is Mike Hargrove. Okay? He had a record of 275 and 372.
I'm going to go with Buck Showalter.
Second best record since the 2000 for the club. And never made the playoffs. So
I'm going to go with Buck Showalter.
I mean, Buck Showalter, I think, is the only guy in the league that has taken a team from being like almost the best down all the way to the bottom again, and then brought him back again, then back all the way to the bottom. Resurrected the team like 3 separate times.
Yep. This one's a little tough. I didn't go with Alex Cora, and you'll hear why. First name is Terry Francona. 744 and 552 record through
We're all
8
Mariners. Like it.
through 8 seasons. He broke the Babe Ruth streak in 2004 by winning the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 2-time World Series champion and managed the All-Star team in 04 and 08. Then you had John Farrell with a record of 432 and 378 in 5 years with the team. Won the World Series in 2013, coached the 2014 All-Star game, and finished second in the Manager of the Year voting. I'm going to go with Terry Francona.
This is probably one of the more intriguing, matchups. Because the Red Sox got over that hump in the early 2000s there and kind of stayed relevant from then on out.
I vote John Farrell because I think he did the same, because they both only won 1 World Series, right?
Francona won 2.
04-07.
But I think that Farrell, did it with less. I mean, the 04 team was so stacked.
It was good.
It was so fucking stacked.
Full team. All 3 teams are pretty stacked. David Ortiz was there.
It's true.
That's a
I
deciding factor.
think I was 15 when I realized he wasn't black. I was 15 years old when I realized that there weren't nearly as many black guys in the MLB as I thought. I'm like, well, Manny Ramirez is black. No, no, I'm like, huh?
I think Terry Francona is probably one of the best managers we've seen since our era of watching. But
Yeah, once the topic came up, my head immediately went Terry Francona. really, my only reasoning was kind of breaking the Bambino thing. That's the only. Because I think when you boil it down, Paul was right. The teams are very similar. You know, they're both very good. The team has just been good for like the past 20 years. So it's a tough call. I give it to Francona.
Mass?
Francona.
All right, then we got the Chicago White Sox. Another one-sided one.
I go with the second one. Is that who the second one is?
Who?
Is it Ozzie Guillen?
No.
Oh, he's the first.
I go with the first one then.
The first one is Ozzie Guillen. He held a 678 and 617 win-loss record. Won AL Manager of the Year in 2005, which they won the World Series, and he won the AL pennant.
Out of first place for only
This is
one
a fun
day.
fact I wanted to put in there. He got ejected 27 times.
I was looking at those stats. I didn't include anything, but
He was a big hothead, and I think that's what kind of led the team to success and a little bit, because he always had the team back, and they respected that, except when he went to the Marlins. Yeah, he won the World Series in 2005, took a team that wasn't supposed to do anything, and made him a pretty good squad. And then there's Robin Ventura, who had a 375 and 435 win-loss record.
I mean, I know it's easy to say because they won the World Series, but they had the best rotation in baseball that year.
They had the most fun rotation.
Nah, it was the best rotation.
Robin Ventura had no awards. Had a second-place finish in 2012. And finished third place in the AL Manager of the Year voting in 2012. This one's a no-brainer.
Talk about taking a team, though, that was supposed to do nothing and do a little bit of something. That's him.
This one's a no-brainer for me. I think it's Ozzie Guillen.
Ozzie Guillen all the way. And if we did another thing like best personalities in baseball, he'd most likely be one, I think.
He's up there. There's another guy that should be on your list.
They highlight all these like NFL coaches that have like people that have to like hold them back, like the San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator, like Sean McVay had one or whatever. It's like could you imagine being the guy that had to try to hold Ozzie Guillen back when he got mad? Pretty sure Fort Knox isn't holding him out when he's mad. He's a fucking hothead. All right, Souls.
All right, now we got the Chicago Cubs.
How many teams have you done so far? 4 or 5?
4. All right. And now we got the Chicago Cubs. We have Joe Madden. He had an impressive 471, 339 record. Won NL Manager of the Year in 2015. Broke the club's World Series streak in 2016. Won 2 NL pennants. Had a very historic run with that team. And it's crazy that they would even want to let him go. But
I mean,
what are you going to do?
When you have a chance at David Ross, you'd make the right decision.
And then we have Dusty Baker. A fun name.
Yes.
Fun guy. Yeah, he's a mushroom.
Won the NL pennant in 2003. He was part of the whole Steve Bartman situation. A team that definitely had the talent to get to the World
It's
Series.
like a punk band, the Steve Bartman situation.
It's already been taken.
Yeah, too bad.
But, he unfortunately had that happen.
But he unfortunately had a Steve Bartman situation.
His record with the club went 322 and 326. His tenure definitely started off really good with them, and then they traded away all their pieces. He had Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor when healthy, and then they got hurt, and the club could never really figure out anybody after them. My opinion, another easy one, it's Joe Madden.
David Ross.
Yeah, I think that Joe Madden, no-brainer, especially the Cubs being, a dumpster fire for years and years and years. And I think in recent memory, Joe Madden is probably the only coach or, manager I could think of that, like, players were really super excited for him to come. Like,
the Angel players are super excited.
Yeah, he carries a lot of good hype with him, if you will, and he delivers. So,
Paul?
Joe Madden.
Joe Madden.
All right.
And also, Dusty Baker's kind of been around and does a lot of the same.
Well, speaking of Dusty Baker, with the Cincinnati Reds,
That's my pick. Say no more.
he coached the team for 6 years and had a 509, 463 win-loss record. Brought the Reds to 3 postseason appearances.
Experiences. They got to sit in the dugout. They were the sick kids.
It's like those Make-A-Wish
unfortunately,
kids.
he only went 2-9 in the postseason. He had the best record for the Reds since the 2000s, and his team definitely overachieved. They never had the sure thing on that squad. You know, you had Devato and Brandon Phillips, but that was about it. They got good pieces around them, and it definitely showed in the playoff that they didn't really belong there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you had Bob Boone.
Bob Boone.
Yeah, he coached the early 2000s, had a 190, 238 record. He coached a team that did not have much talent. And then when he did have talent, Ken Griffey got hurt for the year twice.
Yep.
That's about it.
Though I crapped on Dusty Baker a moment ago, he's my pick because during that time, in the late, early 2000s, if that's a way to say that, the Reds were good. Brandon Phillips was playing his best baseball. Votto playing his best baseball at the time. They had weird pitching too. Why can't I think of his name, Kyle? He was on the Red Sox that won in 2004. Bronson Arroyo was like their ace.
Yeah.
And he was like pretty good still. And they just couldn't get over the hump. So, but it's all things
Manny
considered.
DeRoy Holiday.
Yeah, but all things considered, that much better than.
Yeah. Well,
Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker.
I think he's on this list again, so be aware.
He's on my list.
Now we got the Cleveland Indians. This one can be a lot closer than you think. You got Terry Francona again with a 638, 494 record. He went to the World Series in 2016. He has a 12-12 record in the postseason. This year was supposed to be a rebuilding year for them, and he ended up doing pretty well. And all things considered, he did a nice job with the injuries and everything. He did a very nice job. And then there's
Seizure over here.
Eric Wedge. He made the playoffs in 2005 and 2007.
Not a wrestler, by the way, Eric Wedge.
He captured the AL Central twice. Was manager of the year in 2007. Lost in the ALCS to the Red Sox in 2007. He finished his tenure with a 561, 573 record. He had the A.J. Burnett effect of every other year being very good and very bad. That's why the records kind of together. One year he would go 90 and 72. The other year he would go 68 and 94, something like that. And he coached the team for 7 years. I didn't really know much about Eric Wedge.
I don't either.
But what I read, I think he could be a winner. But I didn't think that Terry Francona had brought that team to so much already. And I think he would have to be the favorite.
I mean, for a guy to appear on a list twice and have almost the same level of success puts me in the running for Terry Francona, bringing an Indians team to the World Series and almost back again the following year. That's enough for me. A guy to go seamlessly transition basically from one successful team right to another. It speaks a lot for, I think, the coach he is, and that's why I pick him.
Paul?
Joe Brown. Mike Brown?
Eric Wedge?
Lou Brown.
There we go.
Like,
I didn't know at first, but now I'm with you. I also vote for Lou Brown. We're contenders now.
That was actually really good. Is that an unacceptable answer?
I could put Lou Brown on here.
All right. I'll go. I'll go with Francona.
Do you remember a couple episodes back, many episodes back, where we did the pretend athletes in movies and all that? Lou Brown made it to the finals of that. I don't know if he won, but he came down to the.
I think he lost to Will Ferrell, semi-pro.
Did he?
Jackie Moon.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see it.
Mass?
Won't you love me sexy?
Francona.
I chose Eric Wedge.
Of course you did.
Why?
Because you're a controversial asshole.
Why?
Because he's a controversial asshole.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I picked Francona.
I was going to say.
This is a fun team. We have the Colorado Rockies. They've had very little success.
Yeah.
But from 2002 to 2009, their coach was Clint Hurdle. He took the team to the only World Series appearance, lost in 4 games. He had a .534 and .625 record. But you got to give these guys a little bit of slack. Nobody signed there. They can't get any pitching. Nobody stays there except Nolan Arenado. That's about it. But he didn't have Nolan Arenado. He had Todd Helton.
Todd Helton, yeah. Matt Holliday.
Yeah, but he left.
Yeah, but he was
Drew
there.
Holiday.
Andrew Holiday.
Then you have Bud Black from 2017 to present. He has a .249 to .238 record. Made it to the postseason twice in 3 years and holds a 1-4 record. He's doing a nice job with the talent he's given. They don't have any pitching, just kind of like they usually don't. And their lineup is pretty good, like usual, but you can only score so many runs. This one's tough for me.
I am a big Clint Hurdle fan, so it's kind of a bias for me. But I think, what my trend has been, if you take a team to the World Series, that's been enough to win a vote for me. And I think, going back to an early argument that Souls made, I think the staff now is more talented than was back then. And I think Clint Hurdle did a lot more with a lot less. Though Todd Helton was there, Todd Helton was very good for a very long time. It's tough to pitch there. You're playing 81 games in a home run, ballpark where it's not difficult. Any ball in the air has a chance to go out. So,
I'm also going to go with Clint Hurdle. He coached there for a very long time.
Yeah. Clint Hurdle.
Imagine it's going to agree with everything we say.
Do you want me to be a controversial asshole?
Yeah, that's the whole point of this is. I put one coach for the Detroit Tigers.
Well, so if it'll make you feel better, we'll get a little controversial when we get to football. I'll give you guys a bit of a spoiler. Here's the Dolphins' 2 coaches in contention: Tony Sperano and Joe Philbin.
Gross.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait till we get to basketball. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Washington Wizards or the Hornets. Yikes.
I put one coach for this. It was this guy and a bunch of guys that did not do well.
Mike Zimmer.
His name is Jim Leland. He had a 700, 597 record. Won AL the Manager of the Year 2006. Won 2 AL pennants. Lost both of the World Series, but whatever. He built a team from a 50-win team to a 90-win team overnight.
great mustache.
Yeah. Really the only coach worth mentioning for this.
Yeah,
team.
Jim Leland is the guy. Good players, Where can I think of his name there?
Dusty Baker.
Yeah, Dusty Baker.
Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera, Maglio Ordonez, 41.
Prince Fielder.
No.
Dimitri Young.
No, but good name. God, I can't think of his name. And it doesn't matter. Jim Leland, he's the guy.
Yeah, I agree. There's really nobody else. Does anybody else think, though, that watching the Rams versus the Ravens in their color rush jerseys is like watching like a Viking scrimmage?
Yeah.
This is going to be a good one. The Houston Astros. We had Philip Garner, 277, 252 record, a 13-13 postseason record. Brought the team to the World Series in 2005, which they lost to the White Sox. Had a winning record every year he coached the team, and was a candidate for Coach of the Year twice. A.J. Hinch, 2017 to now, 41-329 record, won 2 AL pennants, and won 1 World Series, lost 1 World Series. He was given the team very young, and now they've blossomed into what they are.
Yeah, Hinch. I don't think it's even close.
So the way I've been trending, I have to give it to Hinch. But this is very intriguing because these teams, are very similar on paper. Like that when that 05 team, or what was it, 2005?
Yeah.
When they went, same deal. Fairly young. They were putting up a lot of runs. They were exciting. It was Berkman.
Bagwell, Biggio was
Biggio.
there.
I mean, that was like the height of
Roger Clemens.
awesome Astros baseball, and they made it. They just they ran into a
Chad
surging.
Qualls.
Chad Qualls ran into a surging.
White Sox team.
He's got a statue there. What's his name there?
Paul Konerko.
Paul Konerko.
He's got a statue there. Tadahito Iguchi.
I also think it's
imagine?
Hinch.
I think it's Hinch.
It is.
Here's the thing. My argument is I understand, like, the other guy kind of, like, did a lot too, but, like Hinch, like, he's keeping all the young guys in check when they could very easily, with all the success so early in their careers, could be getting very easily very big heads. But the thing, too, is like, the manager, the coach manager of any team has a huge part in, like, what pieces come into the franchise, and he keeps putting the perfect piece in the hole that they need. It's always the perfect piece. Everybody they bring in it just fucking fits perfectly.
Like Michael Brantley this year.
Yeah, they just,
Verlander. I mean, hey, we need to increase this. Okay, this is the guy we're going to get, and it just works.
Yeah, the momentum just ran out this year. I think they were going to win.
Teach that.
All right, now we get the Royal. This one's very easy. Not even close.
Lou Brown, Dusty Baker.
We have Ned Yost. He coached for 10 years. Had a 457.502 record. The record's very...
They were
misleading.
bad for a very long time and
Yes.
became really good for a very short period
Yeah.
of time.
They won the World Series against the Mets in 2016, I think. 15. They went to the one before that. They lost. They were young. Winningest coach in the last 2 decades, by far. Okay. Then there's Tony Pena, who lasted 3 years, but he did win the AL Manager of the Year in 2003. Held a record of 198-285. Granted, those Royal teams were garbage.
Putting it lightly. Ned Yost all the way. 2 pennants, 1 World Series.
Well, he did have Angel Barola,
Ew.
who was good for like a year.
That doesn't make it better.
Mike Sweeney.
That makes it a little better. But Barreau, no. Yeah, for, I don't know, we'll call it three seasons at least, Royals were like the best team of the AL Central there. They ended up hitting the fan pretty hard as of late, but...
Everybody left. They can't
Yeah.
keep anybody.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think fuck this game.
Okay. Ned Yost for Mavs. All right, I put one name for this one too because he coached there for 18 years. We have Mike Scioscia from 2000 to 2019.
Oh, Sammy Sosa's dead.
Yeah, I am not putting Brad Ausmus. He got fired. He held the 1,650 and to 1,428 record. Won the World Series back in 2002. Went to the playoffs 7 times. Has a playoff record of 21 and 27. Won Manager of the Year in 2002 and 2009. Really the only coach they've ever had.
Yeah.
Brad Ausmus was kind of a filler so they can get Joe Madden. Joe Madden I was going to put on this list. But not yet. It's only Mike Scioscia.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah.
What were the years again? Just curious.
2000 to 2019.
Oh, so it's been the entire 2000.
Yeah. And then we have the Dodgers. This one was tough for me. They had Joe Torre, but I didn't put him in. He was only there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I put Don Mattingly, who had a 446, 363 record. Went to the postseason in 2013, 2014, 2015. Postseason record of 8-11. And he held a winning record every year. Then you got the current coach, Dave Roberts, who went 393 and 256. Finishing first each of the last 4 seasons. Went to the World Series twice, lost. Won NL Manager of the Year in 2016. I think I'm going to give it to Dave Roberts. Doing it 4 years in a row, pretty impressive.
Yeah. It's I want to agree, but it's funny. I think the Mattingly teams were better overall. I just think that we hear it all the time, the choke factor of
They ran
Kershaw,
into
the
the
Dodgers,
Phillies.
and the Phillies were really good at the time. Going to the World Series twice twice in a row. I'm talking myself out of it now. All right, no Mattingly. I'm with you, Souls.
Mattingly.
Mattingly.
We have a split.
We have a split.
God
Wow.
damn it.
All right, Mattingly. I'm going with my first.
All right, my last one. The Miami Marlins. I shouldn't have put 2, but I did. You got Jack McKeon, who won the World Series in 2003, finished with a 286, 257 record. Took that team from nowhere to winning the World Series.
Nowhere to somewhere.
What happened?
Nowhere to somewhere.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he got fired a couple years later because they traded the entire team the year after. Yeah. Finishing. He had above 500 record. No other coach has done that for them.
Yeah.
Then the Freddie Gonzalez, who gives a shit?
Not even worth a conversation.
It's not. But he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The best he did was finish in 3rd place.
Put some respect on 3rd place.
I
It's
think
fine.
Jack McKeon to pick.
Yeah. 100%.
All right.
Doesn't even ask us.
Kendall, you're up.
All right. Would you guys like to vote?
Enough of this this segment. Let's move on. This is going to be the first installment in a 7-week installment series. Oh, Rebecca has a question.
Do I get any credit
For what?
helping him?
She typed for me because I'm too lazy.
But you did all the homework?
Yes.
Okay.
For the Yankees?
What? Okay.
Is that for the Yankees? So did you do the Phillies?
I did?
Kyle, you let him have the Phillies?
I did.
And you let him have the New York Mets?
I did. I did the harder teams.
Fuck yeah, the White Sox were good once.
They're easier than... But yeah, these are harder than those ones.
No, they're not.
All right.
I'm done for tonight. Sorry.
You didn't even try the scotches, you dick.
I can't get
Mass,
that right
you
now,
went
at least.
so hard, so fast.
God, my
Braves
stomach is
2.0.
just...
Yeah, because you drank 6 shots of bourbon in like 10 minutes.
Not 6. Like 3.
All right.
That's kind of embarrassing.
Fuck you, Baron.
You fat fuck.
All right, the Milwaukee Brewers. Manager 1, Craig Counsell, 2015 to the present,
Good name.
405 and 381. Made the playoffs the last 2 seasons. Playing, good ball. The Brewers were kind of, a team that, not that there was not a desire to go there, but, just, it was the,
They were fortunate to land themselves a star.
yeah. And we're trying to think, before that, steroid allegations,
They had Fielder and Braun.
yeah, Ryan Braun, and that was the guy. That
Who was the guy that had sex with Rachel Rocks? He was a brewer.
Ryan Braun?
No, that was...
Gomes?
No. It was a pitcher.
No. It was
what-
like
what team?
It was like a Fat Baldman kind of deal.
What team?
Yeah, he was a pitcher.
No.
What team?
He played for the Brewers. He played for the Red Sox too, though.
Huh.
The guy that had sex with the porn star. Oh no, Rachel Starr. Rachel Starr, not Rachel. Rocks.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember this happening, but I can't remember. Souls is on the case.
Mike Napoli.
Man,
Oh, that's right.
told you it was a Fat Baldman.
That's funny.
I knew he wasn't a pitcher. It would be hilarious to watch, though.
And my second manager is Ron Ronick, 2011 to 2015, 342 and 331. The only discernible category is a above 500 record.
Yeah.
Loser.
Craig Counsell, I think, is the guy.
Oh yeah,
They're both very tough. I'm going to go council.
yeah.
Less to work with until they got you.
I'm gonna have to talk to the council. We're gonna go with council.
All right. This one,
So Lamar Jackson's like pretty good.
yeah, he's good. This one for me, I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Minnesota Twins, Ron Gardenhire, 2002 to 2014, 1,068 and 1,039 is record. 5-time division winner, manager of the year. The Twins were pretty good for a while there.
Yep.
Can't think of the. I can't remember these players, Kyle. I'm like going. Like,
Justin Morneau, Joe
Justin
Mauer.
Morneau, Joe Mauer. My brain has turned to mush.
This is what happens when you talk about coaches, man. You forget about the players. Because it just goes to show coaches matter more.
Mauer, excellent player, and God only knows all the records he holds. And Rocco Baldelli,
Rocky Balboa?
29 to the present, 101 and 61 last year, manager of the year. For me, it's Gardenhire. I mean, Baldelli, good season. An upswing for the Twins. But
Yeah, it's Ron Gardenhire.
There's just too much history.
I concur.
Those teams they couldn't get past the Yankees. Pretty much.
Yeah, Kendall's doing what I want to do right now.
What?
Drink heavily because of this fucking game.
Well, he's not drinking heavily.
I know because of the game, but still.
He's drinking heavily because of Kyle.
All right, the greatest team on this list, the New York Mets. Terry Collins, 2011 and 2011, 2017, 551 and 583, won the pennant. That's about it. That's all he did.
I wish instead of a trophy, they got a pennant. Like one of those little pennant flags they hang up.
Here you
Here
go.
you go.
Enjoy. And Willie Randolph, 05 to 08, 302 and 253. 2006 took this team 97 wins, I believe it was, tied for the best record in baseball.
What about the guy that coached the 2000 team that took him to the World Series?
Nope.
Bobby Valentine?
Don't like him. So
I'm going to go with Terry
list.
Collins.
Yeah.
He went through a lot of bumps and grinds and fought that team to become where they were.
I'm going to go Terry Collins, too, off of the Kendall Reed method. Good enough to get him to a postseason.
Yeah. For me, it's Terry Collins. I'm a big Willie Randolph fan, but that
You
team...
just like the players on that team more.
Yeah, but Willie Randolph produced one of my favorite Mets managers of all time. Do you know what that is, Kyle?
Wally Backman?
No, Jerry Manuel. That's my favorite. So my dad and I had a joke that when he wasn't coaching, he drove a garbage truck in New York. There was really no other reason, but it, yeah.
That's
Terry,
E.J. Manuel's brother, right?
father actually.
Oh.
He's just much older. Great beard. Yeah, Terry Collins. Now, this one is intriguing. I think I kind of know how people are going to sway, but the New York Yankees. First one I have is Joe Torre, 1996 to 2007, 1173 and
You can stop
767. 6 pennants, 4 World Series titles. I mean, the Yankees were
Dominant.
dominant. It's the players were good. Just that they really bested only by the Diamondbacks,
Marlins.
and Marlins, and then I have Joe Girardi, 2008 to 2017, basically picking up where Torrey left off. 9-10 and 7-10 his record. 1 pennant, 1 World Series title, 1 manager of the year. So where Torrey has like the World Series, it's not like Girardi was not a slouch.
No, it's just hard to make up what he did.
Right.
Well, I think anybody could have won a World Series with that team. He sucked. He wasn't even that good. He just had good players. I give it to Girardi.
I'm leaning on Girardi myself, but I think to have continued dominance and really, the Yankees had maybe 2 hiccup seasons. Would you say of like really bad play?
Yeah.
Once when we were in high school, like our freshman year of high school, I remember they were pretty bad. And I don't know, 3 years ago I think it was.
That was 2008, just for the people at home who don't know how old we are.
Yeah, we're not that old.
No, but I'm saying, but you're like our freshman year of high school. It could be any year.
Right, I know. Well, I didn't know what year it was. So we're in agreement, Joe Torre?
Yeah.
You said Joe Girardi.
Both of them did, but
I said Girardi.
Did I?
You
Yeah.
said I'm
Said
leaning
Girardi.
towards Girardi myself.
Did you mean
I-
Tory?
I did.
Joe Torre.
I did mean that.
I stand by what I said. As does Kendall.
That's right. So,
You know, that girl just had the word live written on her snow goggles. There's no way she'd be able to see effectively with that.
the Oakland Athletics. First manager on this list, Bob Melvin,
What?
2011 to the present.
You're telling me that there's a person with the exact name that if we cloned your dog and your dad? Bob Melvin?
That's right.
Him. I don't give a fuck about the rest of it.
731 and 664. Three-time manager of the year.
Hey, who's in the AFC South?
And our second manager is Ken Macha, however you want to pronounce it. 03 to 06, 368 and 280. Three-time division leader for the AL West there. For me, I think it's Bob Melvin.
It has to be.
It's just because, kind of similar to Buck Showalter, he's a guy who like brings his team from the dead like every couple of years. Like they'll be good, then they'll just fall off drastically, and then they'll come out of nowhere.
Kinda
and
like
be
the
amazing.
Orioles.
Exactly, that same type of deal. Team that kind of hasn't made it over the hump, but they battle every year and always in the conversation somehow. Even if they don't make the playoffs, they're like, well, if there was 5 more games in the season, they would have made it. It's a dumb example, but
If only we got rid of the rest of the whole record book.
yeah, if only June didn't happen, the Mets would have won.
That was so funny. Was it June or was it May?
I think it was June.
Do you need another highlight?
Yeah. Yes, I will. Thank you. All right, so we in agreement, Bob Melvin?
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. His favorite team, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, it's only one person.
Souls.
It's what?
Nope, the first guy is
No, don't even say it.
the manager this year.
Really?
No, I'm just joking. Charlie Manuel, 2005 to 2013.
That's it.
Just let me read the stats. 780 and 636, 1 World Series title, 2 pennants, 5-time division leader. The Phillies were unstoppable from like 08 to 11. Like that was like the most annoying team to watch
Don't be jealous.
because they just would win. It wouldn't make any sense.
When you have Roy Halladay, you're gonna win.
Yeah, but they didn't always have Roy Halladay.
I mean, they had Cole Hamels.
True.
He might come back.
And Kyle, who do you think the second manager?
Larry Boa.
Yeah, Larry Boa.
Yeah.
01 to 04, 337, 308, 3 winning seasons out of 4. That's
But they weren't like good winning seasons.
well, they're above 500. That's what it is.
What about Gary Varsho?
He had what? That was one season.
Now, he coached 2 games in 2004.
Oh,
1-1.
I feel like I
Yeah,
know that
Doug
name.
Glanville.
Doug Glanville. Yeah, good name.
Pete Mackinnon.
Yeah, he sucked.
John Vukovic.
Also sucked.
That's not true. He only coached 9 games.
Yeah, he didn't make the right calls.
He had a winning record.
All right. I wish Jeff was here, but he's not. The Pittsburgh Pirates, Clint Hurdle, 2011 to 2019, 735 and 720. 3 consecutive wild card loser. thought that's notable. I don't think that will ever be duplicated.
I think that's it.
And Honus Wagner, 1917, 1-4, greatest name in baseball history. So take that for what you will. It's Clint Hurdle.
Honus Wagner is a good name.
It's like my favorite name ever.
It's gotta be Clint Hurdle. And all the other teams.
If I'm
Buns.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. It's got to be Clint Hurdle because all the other teams are buns, even though his teams were also buns.
Yeah.
They just had warmer buns.
I mean, for like 3 years, that Pirates team was really good. You know, and they just couldn't. They always hit like a surging Cubs team or whoever the hot team in the wild card was, and they just couldn't make it. In fact, I think as a group we watched 2 of those wild card losses in TCB.
Yep.
Just like, let's go out
one
for
to the
beers.
Cubs and one to the Cardinals, I think.
Yeah, it was rough. I feel bad.
They ran into Madison Bumgarner twice. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. It was Giants and Cubs.
Yeah.
Giants and Cubs.
All right. Here's a very unexciting team. The San Diego Fathers.
Oh, dude.
That's
Is
Spanish
there
for
somebody from the 2000s. That's
father. You know what's funny? You know what we never hear? It's because of the language speak. But like, I want to start doing this more. I think it'd be funny. Like someone was like, he said, "Oh, the San Diego Fathers." Ha! That's English for Padres. Because it's always like, "Oh, that's English or that's Spanish for father or whatever." You know what I'm saying? Like, someone's like, that's English for Padres.
I always wanted to translate Feliz Navidad into English and sing it. You know, like, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right, we'll expand on that song a little later.
And then at the end, it's like, "I want to wish you Feliz Navidad."
Yeah, that's why we have to switch to Spanish. That's the tough part right there. All right, Padres. Bud Black, 07 to 15, 649 and 713, 2 playoff appearances. And Rod Barajas, 2019, 1-7.
So was Bud Black the only good option?
Yep. Pretty much. But I like Rod Barajas a lot, so he made my list. Yeah, the
Is he really
Padres.
the coach?
I think he just coached a few games like interim, like at the end of a season.
Yeah.
We all know that the Padres have been bad for a very long time. They've had like spots where like they were good enough to like make the wild card, and then were just decimated. It's just they. I don't know what to say. They maybe this couple years they'll turn it around, but I think Bud Black is our best option.
I looked at a couple baseball managers and stuff while I was like doing my segment, like taking a break. A lot of the guys, like the real life photographs of like the 1910s, 1920s managers and baseball players, they look like people that were in Shawshank Redemption.
That's pretty funny.
They do. Like Honus Wagner could have been Brooks. Clint Hurdle was Brooks.
I wish you guys thought that was as funny as I did. All right, so we're losing over here. I need your help.
Come on, Kyle.
All right, Giants. This one's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Bruce Bochy, 07 and
Dusty
2019.
Baker.
1,052 and 1,054. 3 World Series titles.
Isn't it amazing how we're listening to these things when we get to the NFL? Like, could you imagine being like, "Oh yeah, one of the coach of the years, his record was, 110 and 109." And you're like, he sucked, but like a 500 record overall for baseball, you're just like, that was pretty good.
And next best, Felipe Alou, 03 to 06, 342 and 304.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, it just above 500 record. Kind of like when Bonds was still, crushing balls into the bay there.
Sucking socks.
Yeah, but Bruce Bochy, no doubt about it. Okay. Here's another one that I think is a no-brainer, but it's definitely worth. It's kind of like the Yankees thing for the Cardinals. We have Mike Matheny, 2012 to 2018, 591 and 474, 1 pennant, 3-time division winner, and then perhaps one of the greatest of all time, Tony La Russa, 1996 to 2011, 1408 and 1182, 2 World Series titles, 3 pennants, 2 100-win seasons.
Give me Matheny.
Really?
I'd rather slap you.
I was going to say, you've watched him, I guess, but...
The Russo was like a pitching guru.
Is that porn? What is that? This is a family show. With the exception of the cursing and...
And the beer.
yeah, Tony La Russa for me.
Same.
Yep.
Right.
All right, the Tampa Bay Rays, manager 1, Joe Madden, 06 to 2014, 754 and 705, 590-win seasons. And Kevin Cash, 2015 to 2019, 414 and 396, 290-win seasons. So kind of,
This is a tough one.
it's very similar performance over the same amount of time.
You'd have to give it to Madden because of the dramatic change of that team.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Madden.
Because the year before he got there, they were the laughing stock of the league. He got there, they went to the World Series.
Yeah, it was immediate impact.
I mean, they still don't get anybody to go there, but they're just one of those teams that are always relevant.
Yeah, turn it around.
and
pretty
always
quick.
beat the Yankees.
Yeah, and do it well.
So what do you guys think? Madden or Kevin Cash?
Oh, Kevin Cash.
He's just like the name.
I do. No, Madden. We're talking about Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yankee killer for sure. I went to the non-White Sox games. I went to 5 games in 2 weeks with a girl I was with at the time. We went to 5 Yankee games. They were all losses to the Rays.
Mass?
I already said Madden.
Oh, I thought you said Kevin Cash. I did not think you said that, but I wanted you to. I came close to picking Kevin Cash. Kenny?
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
I overstepped the Mariners. I forgot.
God damn it!
I'm sorry. It was the way I had my my spreadsheet. The Mass is very emotional over my spreadsheet, as you can tell, and not because of the game we're watching. All right. Seattle Mariners.
Please be the guy I want.
I have 3 here,
What?
just for conversation. Scott Cervais, 2016 to 2019, 321 and 327, just below 500 winning percentage. Then I have Mike Hargrove, 2005, 2007, 192 and 210, just below a 500 winning percentage. And Lou Piniella.
There we go.
Lou Piniella, who is coached from 1993 to 2002, 840 and 711. But here's the crazy part. Though he had his best years were actually in the 2000s. From 2000 to 2002, he is 300 and 186, and in 2001 had a 116 win year.
Yeah. That team was fucking insane.
Insane. But I wanted
And they
to...
lost.
Yeah, I know. But I wanted to hold true to the 2000s thing, so I kind of threw some other guys in there.
Lou Piniella was... I love
Is
that
it?
guy.
Are you done?
Yeah, Lou Piniella.
Are you done
I'm done.
with all your teams?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Sorry, there was one guy I went out of order. I have 3 more. Very decidedly, I'll just go real quick. Texas Rangers, Ron Washington, 07 to 2014. Win-loss of 664 and 611. 2-time pennant winner, 490 win seasons. And Jeff Bannister, 2015 and 2015 to 2018, 325 and 313. He was a manager of the year. Ron Washington took the teams to the World Series back-to-back years. Was it? Or was it? Mm-hmm. They couldn't. Did they lose to the Cardinals and who?
Giants.
And Giants. Ron Washington. He had a good team. Mm-hmm. It just those.
He had Josh Hamilton in his prime.
Yeah. Just couldn't get over it.
They didn't have the pitching,
Yep.
but definitely the offense.
Yeah.
He had one of my favorite players, Adrian Beltre.
Yeah.
Guys on the Ron Washington train.
Yeah.
Blue Jays have one guy, John Gibbons, had 2 stints in the 2000s, strangely, 04 to 08 and 13 to 18.
Is this the guy that was the manager when Batista did the bat flip?
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Him. So I
793,
can't even name you any other Blue Jays moment other than Kevin Pillar telling a Chicago White Sox fan that he didn't have any money. It's pretty much the only Blue Jays moment I can tell you.
He was a good manager. And it's kind of crazy that the Blue Jays would want to get rid of him. It's not his fault that the players fucking got old.
Yeah.
Lastly, Washington
Well,
Nationals.
I think it's fair to say that a good manager would prevent age.
Nationals, Dave Martinez, 2018 to the present, 175 and 149, 1 World Series, 1 pennant.
Can I guess the other name?
Yes.
Is it Dusty Baker?
It is Dusty Baker.
Dusty
2016.
Baker, one of those coaches that can get you to the postseason.
But won't win it.
Yeah, you can't do shit.
Yeah. Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we'll see his name a couple times in another segment on this.
2016 to 2017, 192, 132, 291 seasons.
It's got to be Dave Martinez.
It's
He
Dave
just won the World
Martinez,
Series
yeah.
with
Yeah.
But
after
Dusty
the-
Baker,
big loss and
Big D Bakes.
yep, doing his thing,
And you done?
I'm done.
He's done. All right, so boys, we did this. So you guys are going to have to compile the 4 what you guys view as the 4 best managers of the 2000s for baseball for the bracket. You guys want to go to a quick, 2-3 minute break? Everyone can stretch their legs, take a quick breather, and then we'll come back. 2-3 minutes tops. We'll be back here live on Spreaker on Getting Sports with Drunk.
So please take it easy. Good to have me on your side. I ain't saying that you need me. Yeah. 6 got tall, but I ain't trying to get preachy. No. I seen how you did, homeboy. Please take it easier on me. Cause I don't wanna play no games, play no games. I don't wanna play no games, play no games.
Black Friday deals are now at Lowe's, and we're giving you the gift of huge savings. Stop in today and get up to 40% off select appliance special values, like a Samsung stainless steel French door refrigerator for $9.99. That's a $1,000 savings. Check off your gift list with your choice of a 227-piece Cobalt Mechanics tool set for $99, a $600 value if purchased separately, or get a Cobalt 24-volt Max cordless brushless drill with battery, also just $99. This Black Friday, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through 12/5. Tools offer valid through 11/27. U.S. only.
I want to know who motherfucking representing it here tonight. Hold on.
Keep letting you back in. How can I explain myself? You said you cared for me better.
Louisiana shit. Murder on the beat. Something for y'all to cut up to, you know? Yeah. Everybody get your motherfucking roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year, life goes on. Haven't let that thing loose, girl, in so long. You been inside, know you like to lay low. I've been peeping what you bringing to the table. Working hard, girl, everything paid for. First, last phone bill, car, no cable. With your phone out, gotta hit them angles. With your phone out, snapping like you Fable. And you showing off, but it's alright. And you showing off, but it's alright. It's a short life, yeah. That's a real one in your reflection. Without a follow, without a mention. You really piping up on these niggas. You gotta be nice for what to these niggas? I understand. You got 100 bands, you got a baby bands, you got some bad friends. High school pics, you was even bad then. You ain't stressing off no lover in the past tense. You already had them. Work at 8 a.m., finish round 5. Hoes talk down, you don't see them outside. Yeah, they don't really be the same offline. You know dog days, you know hard times. Doing overtime for the last month. Saturday, call the girls, get them gassed up. Gotta hit the club, gotta make that ass jump. Gotta hit the club like you hit the motherfucking angles. With your phone out, snapping like you Fable. And you showing off, but it's alright. And you showing off, but it's alright. It's a short life.
These hoes, your boy, I made.
Watch the breakdown.
And now, back to Getting Sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by cool guys. Bunch of cool guys here today.
Yeah.
Cool Hit us with it.
Fuck you,
Whoa.
Souls.
You do too much motion.
I know.
now.
I got to
You
move
do like a
around.
whole. It's little stuff.
You know what? It's about all the couch dancing I've done. It's tough to to break away from that.
Surfing on the futon?
Well, surfing the futon was an aspect of couch dancing, but a long time ago, hanging at Kyle's house, Kyle had an awesome futon. Crashing at his house was the best because there was the bed, there was the recliner, and there was a futon. And then, for no reason other than his father being an absolute asshole, he got rid of it. It was an awesome futon. One time we were hanging out, they had this bit called "Surfing on the Futon." You get on it, you can pretend you're surfing, and then Jeff punched me in the nads, and that was the end of surfing on the futon for me.
Do you have this one back on? Okay. The stand.
No good to this.
No, it just keeps falling, and I'm too tall for it to be short.
So if you have any surfing on the futon stories, please submit to GSWD @_SBC Global. 2 jokes that landed on deaf ears. Anyway, we're going to continue our segment.
Coaching?
Coaching.
So what sport you guys want to do next? NFL or NBA?
NBA.
NBA it is. All right. I'm going to start in the Western Conference, and I'm going to start with the easy one. The San Antonio Spurs. I only picked one guy because only one guy's coached.
What do you mean?
Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs has been coaching from 1996 to now, which is 23-plus seasons. He's got a .681 win percentage with 13 division titles, 22 playoff appearances, 6 Western Conference championships, 5 NBA championships, 3-time Coach of the Year, 4-time All-Star coach, 19 50-plus win seasons, 5 60-plus win seasons, and that is also including 1 holdout season, which had him on pace for 70 wins.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
So I'm going to go ahead and put that right into the 4 coaches that make it to the bracket category.
Yep.
Anybody have anything they'd like to add to that?
How long do you have to watch basketball till you call him the Pop? Because I don't think I've earned that.
Well, unfortunately, I think to call him the Pop, you have to. Nobody calls him the Pop. It's just Pop.
just Pop.
No. People call him the Pop.
Hey, it's the Pop!
Ask anyone.
Poppity pop.
All right, so let's move on to one that is, a lot of these are pretty much no-brainers, but I stuck to Kyle's thing and did the 2. Kyle, you're going to Mountain Dew. It looked like a Mountain Dew at first. I was like, where the fuck did you get a Mountain Dew
That's
from?
just muscle memory from looking at it.
All right, so we're going to start off with the Phoenix Suns.
Ooh.
All right, so the first coach is Alvin Gentry, who coached from 2008 to 2013 for 5 seasons with a .523 win percentage and 1 playoff appearance. And that is it. Next is Mike D'Antoni, who coached from 2003 to 2008 for 5 total seasons. He had a .650 win percentage with 3 division titles, 4 playoff appearances, a Coach of the Year award, and 1 All-Star coach. He was the Phoenix Suns were pretty much simultaneously the Chargers at the same time. Hey, we're going to be the best team, but we're not going to win anything.
Yeah. D'Antoni for me, that's the pick. And since you came up with that, equating those 2 teams like years ago for me, I've always thought that now, and I think it's like the perfect example of a team like.
It wasn't the coaching. It just they never had that player that could just take over the game and do it all. And D'Antoni, who we'll get to in the same conference here, he now has that thing where he has a player that can take it over and do it all, but no depth. And he had all the depth in the world in Phoenix. He was a great coach for that team. Like I said, they were just missing the X factor piece that could take it over for them. Plus, they also had he had the poorest quality of playing with a Phil Jackson coach Lakers team and a Popovich coach Spurs team in that conference. So, getting to the finals was not an easy task. But I would give the nod to D'Antoni. I thought Souls was excited for this one. Doesn't even care.
I care.
So you're gonna vote?
It's Mike D'Antoni.
Well, what are you doing over there?
Nothing.
You're texting Bianca.
Not.
What are you doing?
I'm actually watching the Sixer Raptor game.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm not actually watching it.
You just said you were watching it.
I'm not actually watching it. I just do it for the flavor.
Flavor saver. Whoa!
All right, so let's move on next to the Los Angeles Lakers. This is pretty much a no-brainer, but I picked 2 just for ha-has. So the first is Mike Brown, who coached for 2 seasons with a .592 win percentage. He had a division title and a playoff appearance. But he is the ultimate loser, and I think we can all agree, to Phil Jackson, who coached for 11 total seasons from 99 to 2011 with a 676 win percentage, 7 division titles, 11 playoff appearances, 6 Western Conference championships, 5 NBA championships, a 2-time All-Star coach, 9 50-plus win seasons, and 2 60-plus win seasons.
Yeah, he's a pretty good coach.
Pretty good coach. And that's not even counting what he did with the Bulls.
Or the Knicks.
Nice. Philip Jackson is the winner.
That's Jeff's favorite of all time.
But real quick, I just want you guys to really think about this. So, from 96 to now, right? So from 96 to now, that's what? How many years is that? That's 23 years, not counting this year's NBA championship?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, it's 23 years. Kyle.
I'm listening.
23 years. Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich have combined in 23 years for 12 finals appearances and 10 NBA championships.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's
It's pretty understandable why nobody else was winning in the West in the 2000s.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Jones. All right, moving on to the other team of Los Angeles, the Clippers. The first coach is Vinny Del Negro, who coached 3 seasons with the Clippers for a .557 win percentage, has 1 division title and 2 playoff appearances. He was the beginning portion of the Clippers team that everyone came to love, the CP3, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. The next coach is the one that took over that reins, which is Doc Rivers, who's still coaching the Clippers. So for 6+ seasons now, he has a .626 win percentage, 1 division title, and 5 playoff appearances. So this one, to me, for just the Clippers' sake, is a little challenging because realistically, 3 seasons versus 6 seasons, same division titles. Doc just made the playoffs a little more, but I mean, disappointing. It's a disappointing. That's a disappointing resume for Doc Rivers for the Clippers team, for that team. I think I'm going to still give it to Doc, granted what he did with that Clippers team last year that was projected to go nowhere, and until they decided to trade Tobias Harris, pretty much kind of knowing that no matter how well they played, they probably weren't going to win the whole thing. Still made the playoffs and still played very hard in the playoffs, and I think that's more of a testament to Doc Rivers and the team.
He usually got hurt, too. Like, he didn't have the best luck, either.
No, Blake Griffin got hurt a lot. Chris Paul was hurt. Then they lost Chris Paul, and yeah.
I would go Doc Rivers. I mean, not just because it's the name I know more, but I always recall the Clippers not being excellent.
No, they've never really been the dominant team out there. They've always just kind of been around. They've always been like a playoff. Like they're always that team that's like, yeah, the Clippers are going to make the playoffs, and then
yeah. But interesting, I think with the Blake Griffin becoming, we'll call it in quotes, a superstar. The commercials that kind of came that kind of spawned from that coaching and that team kind of becoming great. So the Doc, and also he's got great faces and a good voice. Can't blame Blake.
That was good. That was a Jamie Foxx thing? Yeah.
That's like my favorite bit ever.
I was born with a raspy voice. All right, so we're in agreement, Doc Rivers?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move on to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
All right, so the first
Mike
coach...
D'Antoni.
So the first coach is Mike D'Antoni, who's coaching for 3+ seasons since 2016. He has a .702 win percentage with 2 division titles, 3 playoff appearances, a Coach of the Year award, and an All-Star Coach award, whatever you want to call it. And then the other coach is Kevin McHale, who coached for 5 seasons with a .598 win percentage, 1 division title, and 3 playoff appearances. I mean, I think it has to go to Mike D'Antoni. Kevin McHale, I think, was a very good coach for them. But Mike D'Antoni, I guess he's just kind of pulled a little more out of that Rockets team. But he also has the luxury of having, this James Harden versus the James Harden Kevin McHale had for 1 year, I think. Maybe 2. I think it's Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, I agree for the same reasons. Just the team has kind of, the past 3 seasons, has really exploded. And it's just one of those things.
Yeah. All right, Dallas Mavericks.
This one's easy.
Is it?
I think so.
Is it Greg Popovich?
Yep. All right, so First coach is Avery Johnson from 2004 to 2008 for a .735 winning percentage. He has 1 division title, 4 playoff appearances, a one-time Western Conference champion, a one-time coach of the year, and a one-time all-star coach. And the second coach is Rick Carlisle, who's been coaching since 2008, so 11-plus seasons. He has a .533 win percentage, 1 division title, 7 playoff appearances, a Western Conference championship, and 1 NBA championship. So,
in my opinion, it's Rick Carlisle.
I mean, I understand with what you're saying, Rick Carlisle, but really, I mean, and I know it's a lot. I'm not trying to, like, belittle it. But if things had gone different in the 2006 finals and they won that championship, it wouldn't even be close. Like, I mean, Avery Johnson has more than 200 points on him in win percentage.
I owe a shot.
Why?
Sixers lost.
He has over 200 points on him in win percentage in, like, a third of the time coaching. Like, the same amount of division titles. He made the playoffs every year he coached. And he won Coach of the Year and All-Star Coach. I mean, I don't really think it's that much of an easy call. I mean, 4 years, he did a lot of damage in 4 years, including an NBA Finals berth. I mean, he didn't do anything else coaching at all. But he was a good coach for them.
But he's hanging out in Bama right now. Coach of the Alabama Tide.
I kind of gathered
it's
that.
Just, I guess my question is, like, what do you give the NBA championship to? Do you give it more credit to, like, Dirk or more to Rick Carlisle?
Well, I don't know. It's hard because they brought in different pieces, too. Like, Shawn Marion was there.
Jason Kidd.
Like, those are players that he didn't have the first time. And
because the other thing, too, is under Rick Carlisle's thing, like, I mean, .533 win percentage, so he's just above 500. He had an NBA championship Dallas Mavericks team. He also had some really bad Mavericks teams.
Yeah.
He also coached some really, I mean, you figure Avery Johnson in 4 years.
I'm kind of, like, thinking about, like, right now, too, which I shouldn't be, but.
Right, but I mean, 82, you figure 82 games in a season. I know we're taking long on this one, but 82 games in a season, so 3/4 of a season is what?
Bless you.
20 and a half games. So we'll call it 20 games. I mean, so basically, Avery Johnson pretty much averaged 60 wins a season for his 4 years. That's really impressive.
This is tough.
And the other thing, too, is if we're going off coaching, right, Carlisle has the championship, but Avery Johnson won Coach of the Year. I mean, that counts for something. I'm going to give the nod to Avery Johnson.
I said Rick Carlisle.
Come on, Red Baron. Make a vote. Don't overthink it.
I guess Avery Johnson did a lot more in a lot less time.
Mass? Sorry, I wasn't listening?
Yeah. I'm doing research.
Yeah, you should have done it already. Avery Johnson or Rick Carlisle?
Rick Carlisle.
Rebecca? Rick Carlisle or Avery Johnson?
Rick James.
It's like, why do we even go to her for things?
Odd reasoning.
All right. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Kyle's face.
It has one good coach. Well, not true.
Billy Donovan, in 4+ seasons, the current head coach of the Thunder, has a .595 win percentage with 1 division title and 4 playoff appearances. And then Scott Brooks, the head coach of the Thunder from 2008 to 2015, had a .620 winning percentage with 4 division titles, 5 playoff appearances, a Western Conference championship, a Coach of the Year award, and 2 All-Star coach appearances. I think it's got to be Scott Brooks.
Brooks was.
Granted,
here.
Scott Brooks had the prime Thunder team versus what Billy.
But he also drafted that team.
Right? No. I'm not saying that he 100% did draft that team. But I'm saying Billy Donovan only had kind of like he had like premier like Westbrook, but
yeah,
Harden was gone, Ibaka was gone, Durant was gone for one of those years. He was there for one of those years, but I mean.
I think Billy Donovan is a very good coach, but I didn't think that the way that Brooks developed that team gives him the edge.
No, I can give it to Brooks.
Well, just because a team is really good on paper and with their talent, it doesn't mean we can't not credit the coach. You know. It's just...
Oh, sure we can. All right, this one is they're pretty similar, really. Portland Trail Blazers, Nate McMillan 7 seasons, 497 win percentage, a division title, and 3 playoff appearances. And then Terry Scott's 7 seasons, 558 win percentage, 2 division titles, 6 playoff appearances. I mean, it goes to Terry Scott's. I mean, he's a better coach than Nate McMillan, even though they've had the same level of success. I think that's more on the players, really, just being disappointing in the postseason, and proving that this year still so far is a disappointment. I give it to Terry Scott's. I mean, just same amount of coaching time done a little more.
He was able to elevate Damian's game a little bit. Pretty much say, here, it's your team. Figure it out.
Yeah. And there's something to be said for the coaching that he did last year when they lost Jokic. And it was a big blow to that team and still made it to the Western Conference Finals. Didn't put up a fight in the finals, but
They were there.
They were there. They showed up. They were happy to be there. All right. Here's one that's pretty close. The New Orleans Pelicans, also the New Orleans Hornets. So Alvin Gentry, another appearance from him, another pedestrian appearance. He's the current head coach, so 4+ seasons, 439 win percentage, 1 playoff appearance. Then there's Byron Scott, who was a New Orleans Hornets coach, 2004 to 2010, so 6 seasons, 484 win percentage, a division title, 2 playoff appearances, a Coach of the Year award, and an All-Star coach appearance. I think it's pretty obvious it's Byron Scott.
Yeah.
He had Baron Davis.
Yeah, and Chris Paul. He also had Chris Paul. Kyle.
He had Baron Davis.
He also had Chris Paul. Chris Paul Hornets was a real problem.
Oh, I know. But he also had Baron Davis.
Not at the same time.
No, but it would have been cool if it was.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
All right. Here's a real barn burner. I'm going to let you guys decide. So the Grizzlies, team that's seen no success
ever
at all. So Dave Jorger, 2013-2016, so 3 seasons, 598 win percentage, 3 playoff appearances. And then Lionel Hollins, 2004 coach, as well as 2008-2013, so double stinter, 516 win percentage, 3 playoff appearances. I guess Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, half the amount of seasons, a little bit better win percentage, made the playoffs every time.
Here's the problem with that team. They were built as an old school team. They weren't ready for the fast-paced
jack threes up from everywhere.
Yeah. They were we're going to pull you down low and we're going to make it hurt. Didn't work after a while.
I mean, I think you got to be. It's somewhat interesting to be brought back twice. So, make a case there.
I mean, he was kind of did like an interim coach thing for the majority of the season, and then kind of like
became an assistant again.
Yeah, and then got re-promoted again when they were like,
lame. I am out.
All right, fair enough. All right, so let's move on to the Minnesota Timberwolves. First coach is Tom Thibodeau, 2016-2019 for 3 seasons, had a 475 win percentage and 1 playoff appearance.
Weird hair,
weird face, weird everything.
Players being bitches.
And then the second coach is Flip Saunders, 1995-2015 for 11 total seasons, a 521 win percentage, 1 division title, 8 playoff appearances, 2-time All-Star coach, and pretty much the sole responsibility for the player we know as Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, it's Flip.
It is Flip. And a fun fact, Flip Saunders, we lost him
a couple
years ago to actually we lost him in 2016, right? When Tom Thibodeau got the job.
Yeah.
We lost him. He was the head coach of the Timberwolves, and we lost him due to cancer. Tom Thibodeau ended up taking the job. Tom Thibodeau was relieved of his duties after this past season, and now Flip Saunders' son is the head coach of the Timberwolves.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's actually doing a pretty good job.
Flip Saunders was a great guy.
Yeah.
Good coach.
Though I'm a Thibodeau guy, Saunders all the way.
Though I'm a Thibodeau guy, through and through.
Through and through.
All right. And up next is the Denver Nuggets. The first coach is Michael Malone, who is the current head coach of 4+ seasons.
Not Post Malone.
Yep. Or Moses Malone. Or Karl Malone.
For that matter.
The 538 win percentage, a division title, a playoff appearance, and 1 All-Star coach bid in his 4 seasons coaching. The second coach is George Karl, the head coach of the Mellow Nuggets from 2004 to 2013 for 9 total seasons. A .622 win percentage with 3 division titles, 9 playoff appearances, an All-Star bid, and a Coach of the Year award. George Karl was also kind of one of those coaches that just kept getting the Nuggets there, but couldn't get it done, and they kept adding the pieces. I mean, George Karl, in his tenure, that was when they brought AI in. That was when Chauncey Billups was there. They had J.R. Smith. They had Marcus Camby, Kenyon Martin. They had pretty good players all around on their squads, and God, every time I look up, Lamar Jackson's walking on the field. Have you guys had the ball for more than 5 minutes this game?
Fuck yourself.
That's not very nice.
Yeah. I give it to George Karl.
Yeah.
I think he was a really good head coach. I just think that, again, I mean, played in the same time as Pop and Phil Jackson, and it's not easy to overcome.
I give it to Mike Malone, and I say that because in the last 3 years he turned that team completely upside down. You know, they made the right draft choices. He ended up getting a complete stud in Nikola Jokic, bringing in Jamal Murray, getting pieces around him. Because
he's just setting up to be the next George Karl for that team now. They're never going to take the next step.
Well, this would be the year to do.
They're not going to. They're not taking the next step.
They could.
No.
I like the way that they've been doing everything recently. I think now it's a chance they can actually. I'm not saying it will, but it can be the time where they can make a run at the championship.
It's an interesting take. I like that.
What do you guys, Red?
Well, I was with you, Riddler.
Souls has convinced you to go to the dark side?
But his good point.
To the dark
side. His good point is on a hunch, not on fact.
Yeah, not on proven, on what could be.
Yep.
And for that reason, I am out.
George Karl?
George Karl. I still love you, Souls.
George Karl.
All right, that's fine.
That's fine. All right, up next is the Utah Jazz. They are...
This one's very tough.
I mean, it is, but not really. If you,
I know, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the first coach is Quinn Snyder, who coached
hilarious interaction right there.
2014 to now, 5+ seasons. He's got a .559 win percentage, a division title, and 3 playoff appearances. He's responsible for the Utah Jazz we know now.
Yeah, they're fucking...
The Rudy Gobert, the Donovan Mitchell, the acquisition of Michael Conley.
The gritty Jazz.
Yeah, they're gritty, they fight. You know, they're a hard-nosed team. But then the other coach is Jerry Sloan.
Yeah.
So now this is one of those guys that just because of due to lack of coaches, because of how long Jerry Sloan coached, I had to pick him. Jerry Sloan coached from 1988 to 2011 for the Utah Jazz.
That's amazing.
23 seasons.
Coach in the 3 years that he wasn't there.
I don't remember. I looked him up, but it wasn't worth putting him because the thing is even though Jerry Sloan coached from 88 to 1999, he still coached for 11 years in the 2000s. He very much qualifies.
Oh yeah.
So I did this based off his overall tenure as a head coach, not just in the 2000s. He has a .623 win percentage, 8 division titles, 19 playoff appearances, and 2 Western Conference championships, which we both know were losses to the Bulls in the 90s. So,
which isn't his fault.
No, just he got out-coached and his players were outplayed. It's just hey, here's an A team and an A coach. Yeah, well, guess what? Those guys are A+ coaches and A+ team. And they got Rodman. And Pippen saying, mailman don't deliver on Sundays. Hilarious still. Still hilarious. I mean...
I do love Quinn Snyder as a coach, but you have to give it to Sloan.
Sloan all the way.
I think you do too. I mean, like I said, for the NBA, because there were so many guys that were coaches from other decades into the 2000s, I give them the whole rap sheet. I mean...
There's just certain things that supersede. It's how it is.
Yeah, you're getting it.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
But Quinn Snyder is a fantastic coach.
Yeah,
no doubt.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach. He's probably top 20 right now.
Yeah, well, top 10.
Top 7.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. All right, up next is a Kendall favorite.
Yeah.
The Kings of Sacramento.
The Lion's Nest.
This is pretty fucking easy. And I think we can all agree on this. First is Reggie Theus, who coached for 2 seasons. He has a .415 win percentage.
Oh, him.
We're done with that.
Absolutely him.
And then the last one is Rick Ottelman, who coached from 98 to 2006, so 8 seasons. .633 win percentage, 2 division titles, 8 playoff appearances, 2-time All-Star coach. He's the guy that we know as the Amazing Kings team that never won.
Yeah, white chocolate, baby.
White chocolate, Weber, Bibby, Peja. I saw the thing. Did you see that Peja passed on Luka Doncic in the draft because him and Doncic's father don't get along? That's why he didn't draft him. That's the reason.
You mean Vlade Divac?
That's what I meant. Yeah, Vlade Divac said, "I'm not drafting him because I don't like his dad."
Well, that's why the Kings suck.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. I watched that package of white chocolate there. His name escapes me always.
Jason Williams.
Just all the time. The crazy passes, all that. Like
My favorite's the one where he goes behind the back and then off the elbow, like back to the
It pops up like on my Instagram Explorer. Like we'll call it every 4 months, and I'll watch it every time. I'm like amazed.
Fun NBA fact unrelated to that.
Traded for Mike Bibby.
Enes Kanter, who's like a wanted man in like Turkey and all that. The leading man who's like out to like get his family and him in Turkey is former NBA athlete Hudo Turkoglu.
Really?
That's the guy who's leading the investigation in Turkey for the Turkey government to put Enes Kanter in jail.
Oh my god! What a weird world.
It's like NBA cannibalism.
Yeah. All right, I have to use the restroom.
All right, can you get through this last one?
I can.
All right. So this one, it's not close, but it's worth mentioning. It's the Golden State Warriors. So go with the obvious first. Steve Kerr. 2014 to now for 5+ seasons. .761 win percentage. 5 division titles. 5 playoff appearances. 5 Western Conference championships. 3 NBA titles. Coach of the year. 2 NBA All-Star coaches. And a record 73-win season. But worth mentioning is Mark Jackson. 2011-2014, only for 3 seasons. He posted .526 win percentage, which is really good considering where that team was when he started with them. 2 playoff appearances, but he's also the guy that built the Warriors team that won those Kerr championships. He drafted Draymond Green. He drafted Klay Thompson. He made the call to start Curry over Ellis. He signed Iguodala.
No,
Yes,
it
he did.
happened after.
No, it did not.
Really?
I looked it up. He signed Iguodala. Iguodala signed in 2013. He signed Iguodala. Those are the 4 major pieces, the 4 major components. Everybody else was plug and play pretty much. I mean, they didn't need, Durant only helped. They didn't need Durant to win. You know what I'm saying? Mark Jackson built that team. And I think had Mark Jackson been given the opportunity to stick around, I think the Warriors would have still won. Maybe not 3. Maybe not 5 straight Western Conference championships. But I think that they would have been NBA Finals teams.
Do you know why he got fired?
No.
Because him and the front office got into it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
Because
Yeah.
they wouldn't let him. He wanted to keep control of the drafting process, and they didn't want him to. And I thought he was right.
Mm-hmm.
And he should have another coaching job.
He should. He's never coached since then. Which is crazy when you think about it. His only coaching gig is a .526 win percentage with 2 out of 3 playoff appearances, and he drafted.
The Knicks actually had a thing where they wanted him to coach there.
Mm.
See, that's very interesting. I'll give it to Kerr, but I knew the guy you were talking about who just said
Yeah, he does the NBA analysis stuff. He does the with Jeff Van Gundy.
He was a Knick.
Yeah, and I knew that he was the
also
guy,
a Warrior.
He was the guy who built that team, if you will, and I respect that. So it's like one of those weird things that it's like he's the guy responsible, but with no credit.
Just didn't get a chance to see it pan out. And, you know, it sucks because the Warriors he drafted so many good players that their Warriors are not biting themselves in the ass for not giving it to him. But I think the flip side to it is that really, since he's left, none of their draft picks have really panned out.
Mm-hmm.
None of their draft picks have been the next guy to fill like a void. Like they have.
Granted, they had later picks. Like that's a big thing too.
I understand that, but like Klay Thompson wasn't a top 5 pick. Draymond Green wasn't a top 10 pick.
Draymond Green was a second, and Klay Thompson was 11, I think.
But still, I mean,
top 15.
You know, but still, 11 is still a very big gamble in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's it for the Western Conference. So I'm gonna move to the Eastern Conference. Come, you can go piss.
All right,
we're gonna do your favorite team now, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is, in my opinion, it's easy, but there's still a lot of notableness to go on to it. First coach is Brad Stevens, 2013 to current for 6+ seasons, 549 win percentage, 1 division title, 5 playoff appearances, 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances. This is the first team I did. I realized that listing all their appearances for the stupid. And is a one-time NBA All-Star coach. Doc Rivers, 2004-2013 for 9 seasons, 577 win percentage, 6 division titles, 7 playoff appearances, 1-time NBA champion, 2-time conference champion, 2-time All-Star coach. Brad Stevens is, in my opinion, the best head coach in basketball right now, but he hasn't developed the pedigree to be the better Celtics coach since the 2000s.
I agree with that, but I'm still going to go Brad Stevens.
I'm going to go Doc Rivers.
And I say that because I think he is the overall better head coach.
I think he's the better head coach, but Doc Rivers took that team to 2 NBA Finals. And he built, and that's another team. He built that team kind of from whateverness.
Well, in a sense, yeah.
The 04, when he took over in 04, that was kind of when the Celtics were kind of on that downswing, the end of the Anton Walker era. Mm-hmm. That's when Walker shipped off and went to Miami.
They got lucky that they were able to add Kevin Garnett in the trade and sign Ray Allen.
But I think that I refuse to believe there wasn't a hand. Doc Rivers didn't have any hands in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
And at the same time, too, I mean, Doc Rivers did I think Doc Rivers did a really good job with the pieces that he was dealt after Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett left. Mass?
Doc Rivers.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the hometown kid, Toronto Raptors. Mass, I'm going to expect a lot from you. Who do you think the best coach is?
Masai.
Masai?
Well, too bad. That's a shot. He's your GM.
Yeah. Take a shot. That's right. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll get there.
Because
no, we're just going right into it. So first up is Nick Nurse.
Got it.
Nick Nurse. The Raptors really haven't had a lot of good coaching. Nick Nurse, 1 season, 708 win percentage, a division title, a playoff appearance, an Eastern Conference championship, and an NBA championship. Not too shabby.
Pretty cool when you add Kawhi.
Yeah. And then Dwayne Casey, 2012-2018 for 7 seasons, 573 win percentage, 4 division titles, 5 playoff appearances, a 1-time Eastern Conference Finals appearance, a Coach of the Year, and an All-Star coach. I give it to Dwayne Casey.
I do too.
I think that Nick Nurse is cementing himself with what the Raptors are doing this season without DeRozan or Leonard. Not that they had both, but like they lost DeRozan, who was pretty much usually responsible for getting them to the playoffs. Then they got Leonard and Green, lost them. So, but Nick Nurse is putting together a pretty good squad.
Yeah.
And I think he's starting to cement himself as a top-tier coach in the NBA. But it's kind of hard to argue when you had 1 season and it was all success. You went straight to the top and won big, but you signed arguably the best two-way player in basketball. So
I agree with everything.
That's why I give it to Dwayne Casey.
I didn't think it's too early for Nick Nurse.
Agreed. Says the guy who wanted to put Joe Girardi or Joe Madden on the Angels coaching thing.
A guy who better than Brad Ausmus.
A guy who hasn't even actually managed a game there yet. All right, moving on to a Brooklyn Nets team, also known as the New Jersey Nets. We have 2 New Jersey Nets coaches. So the Lawrence Frank era saw 7 coach seasons at a 483 win percentage with 2 division titles, 4 playoff appearances. He's the loser. And then Byron Scott, 2000 and 2004 for 4 total seasons, 517 win percentage, 2 division titles, 2 playoff appearances, 2-time Eastern Conference championship, and an All-Star coach. Just couldn't get it done in the finals. Had back-to-back appearances.
He faced the Lakers and the Spurs, so I don't.
Oh, I don't blame him because that team was totally undermatched. I mean, I think I think that he did the fact that he got that team to the Eastern Conference Finals or to the NBA Finals twice in a row is enough for me.
Yeah. What he did after that doesn't matter. He wasn't very good after that.
Total.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It doesn't even matter what I'm trying to say. It's just outmatched, outgunned. but the best you could do. That's it.
The New York Knickerbockers. Mike Woodson from 2011 to 2014 had a .580 win percentage, 2 playoff appearances, and 1 division title. And then the Jeff Van Gundy New York Knicks, 1995 to 2002. There was just nobody else. I know he did most of his damage in the 90s, but there was nobody else to just pick from. 7 seasons, .590 win percentage, 6 playoff appearances, a Eastern Conference championship, and one-time All-Star coach, Jeff Van Gundy.
And that's got to be the guy.
Jeff Van Gundy's my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the Knicks have been as bad as they've been for so long that you can't have a
I want him to
conversation about a
return to
2000s guy.
coaching. I want him to return to coaching.
Do you think he would have success?
Yeah.
I want to see an NBA Finals where it's him versus Stan Van Gundy. They couldn't look any different.
Gotta feel I know what the next team is.
The Philadelphia 79ers.
Yeah, there's only one choice.
That's not true. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right. First coach is Larry Brown from 1997 to 2003. .554 winning percentage, 5 playoff appearances, 1 division title, a Eastern Conference championship, a Coach of the Year award, and an All-Star coach appearance. And the second coach is Brett Brown, who is the current coach of 6+ seasons of the 76ers with a .371 win percentage. Know what you're thinking. Sounds super low. If you don't know NBA, gotcha. But hear me out. 2 playoff appearances, and he built the team from the worst all-time record in NBA history to a 50-plus win team in just 2 years. Everyone likes to think of the process as Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Brett Brown is just as much of a part of that process. He was there before all those guys were drafted. He drafted all those guys.
He was there when they got hurt.
Yep. He's been as much a part of the process, and, I mean, we talk about the Sixers as being an NBA Finals threat out of the East, and Brett Brown's a big part of that, especially dealing with injuries from Embiid, extreme adversity every time they drafted somebody that was supposed to be really good from their rookie year, injured right out of the gate. I mean, Markelle Fultz missed a year. Okafor missed a year.
No, he didn't.
Oh, no, Noel missed a year. Embiid missed a year. And Simmons missed a year.
And Zaire Smith.
And when they get Zahari Wade and Bronny James Jr., they'll sit out for a year because it's Sixers mentality. But I understand that there's nobody else but Larry Brown in Kyle's mind because he took him to the finals. But, I mean, Brett Brown took this team from... Because it's not like they were good before he got there. They haven't been good for some time. Until not recently. I give it to Brett Brown.
I meant Brett Brown, not Larry Brown.
Oh, all right. So 2 for Brett Brown?
Yeah.
I agree with Brett Brown.
All right. That's irrelevant.
That's about right. Like my team.
Whoa.
You got your team wrong.
On to the Chicago Bulls, man. Pretty much a no-brainer here.
Yep. Jotting them down right now.
Scott Skiles, 5 seasons, .490 win percentage, 3 playoff appearances. Fun fact, guy holds the record for most assists in a game as a member of the Orlando Magic, 30 assists.
I like that.
I had to give him something to go with. And then Tom Thibodeau, 2010 to 2015 for 5 seasons, .647 win percentage, 2 division titles, 5 playoff appearances, 1-time Coach of the Year, 1-time All-Star coach. It's Tom Thibs.
As aforementioned, I'm a Tom Thibodeau guy.
Weird hair.
So, weird hair. Weird face.
Weird body, too.
But all coach.
The guy kind of looks like he's like a... Honestly, he looks like a bag of potatoes that wears a suit.
Yeah, like if...
And a wig.
Like, if you saw him naked, like, what's that sack of potatoes doing here? But he's got... Never mind. This joke is going nowhere fast.
On to the Milwaukee Bucks. George Karl from 1998 to 2003 compiled a .542 win percentage, 1 division title, and 4 playoff appearances. And then Mike Budenholzer, the current coach who's coached for 1+ year, is .742 win percentage with a division title, 1 playoff appearance, a All-Star coach, and Coach of the Year. This one, for me, I mean...
It will be Mike Budenholzer.
It's one of those things, like the Mike Budenholzer thing is kind of the same deal as like the Nick Nurse thing. Like, I don't know if it's too early. Plus, like, Mike Budenholzer, kind of like Nick Nurse, was just pretty much handed, like, an all-star lineup right out of the gate.
Giannis.
Huh?
He was given Giannis.
But he was also given Middleton. He was given, what's the other guy there? Bogdanovich?
Or Bledsoe.
What was the other one they had? Not Bogdanovich. The other guy that sounds like him. The one that went to the Pacers.
Oh, Brogdon.
Brogdon. They don't sound the same, but I always confuse them.
That's about right.
So I don't know. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks team was really nothing to be excited about in the 2000s, early 2000s. I mean, he got 4 playoff appearances out of them. Budenholzer. I mean, Budenholzer's a better coach. I mean, granted, he was given an all-star lineup to work with, but Budenholzer's just a better coach.
That's my pick.
I don't
I like
know.
the name.
I think George Karl.
What's your reasoning, though? Just
Well, yeah, think about it. 'Cause George Karl had way less talent. He was working with Michael Red, and that's about it. And he ended up getting.
I dropped 60 in MSG.
He was able to get the best out of it.
true.
No, I think it was 40 or something.
If he that'd be hilarious.
Kyle was at the game that he dropped like 45.
No, Brandon Jennings.
Oh.
Yeah, I was at the game.
Michael Red was one of the fastest players to ever play basketball. It was insane.
Oh, I didn't think I think he got the most out of a.
So we're going to give it to George Karl?
You guys said Mike Budenholzer.
Well, I said Karl.
I agree with Budenholzer thinking that Paul said it, but I agree with the Mass because he said it.
I like the name.
Well, Rebecca's asleep, and I did it. So we'll go with Karl.
All right.
All right, on to the Cleveland Browns. Just kidding, Cavs. I threw away 2 note cards because I accidentally wrote Browns twice. So we'll start off with Mike Brown, the 2005 to 2010 head coach, as well as the 2013-2014 head coach for 6 total seasons. A 620 win percentage, 2 division titles, 5 playoff appearances, a one-time Eastern Conference champion, a one-time coach of the year, and a one-time All-Star coach. One side note for him, the Cavaliers team that he took to the NBA Finals
Way worse.
did not belong there. Kudos to the coaching. And then next is Tyronn Lue, 2015 to 2019 for 4 seasons, 607 win percentage, 3 division titles, 3 playoff appearances, 3-time Eastern Conference champion, 1-time NBA champion, 1-time All-Star coach. I give it to Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Tyronn Lue was more of a yes man. He was more of the who's the figurehead that we're going to put in front of the camera to say what LeBron wants to say.
I agree, and I have a question. So,
Plus, also that Cavs team was way stacked compared to.
did Lou have any prior coaching experience?
He was an assistant.
Yeah, he was an assistant.
So
He was Mike Brown's assistant.
So this was kind of like his first go of it, and then
Yeah.
having LeBron James.
Oh no, he was David Blatt's assistant.
Oh yeah, he was Blatt's assistant.
But more or less the same. As described.
Yeah, he just David Blatt didn't work out for the year that they had him, and
Even though he did.
he did, but he didn't.
LeBron
And-
just didn't like him.
Yeah, and then that was the guy that kind of looked like Putin.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yep. And then they were just like, we'll just kind of go from within, which to me sounds like LeBron just saying, like, just give it to fucking some schmo on the bench. Who cares who the coach is? It's me. Not saying he's a bad guy or anything. LeBron, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying, like, LeBron's one of those players that kind of has the coaching mentality while he plays. I mean, look what he's doing with Alex Caruso. But I'm going to give it to Mike Brown. Mass?
I like Mike Brown.
Yeah, what you look like?
Why would you think that I know that?
I know.
He's bald, black, and wears glasses.
That sounds about right.
Profile mass.
All right, on to the Detroit Pistons. First up, Larry Brown, 2003 to 2005 for 2 seasons, 659 win percentage, a division title, 2 playoff appearances, 2-time Eastern Conference champion, 1-time NBA champion. So in his 2 seasons, went to back-to-back finals. Not really sure why they got rid of him.
He retired.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. And then the other coach is Flip Saunders, from 2005 to 2008, 3 seasons, had a 715 win percentage, 3 division titles, 3 playoff appearances, and a 1-time coach of the year.
I go with Larry Brown. He was
I
able
do
to get
too.
the most out of the 5 core.
I mean, I don't know my NBA history, but that's awesome. Coach 2 years, go to the finals twice, win 1, retire. Did he retire on a high note? I mean, all right, so
They won the first one, lost the second one.
So I guess not that it matters,
They beat
the Spurs.
They beat the Spurs and then they lost to the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still cool. So that's my pick.
Now he coaches at SMU. Or he did. I don't know if he just saw it.
I did not like that. That popped my ears really loud.
Sorry, I'm trying to get a fruit fly. Didn't get it.
All right, moving on to the Indiana Pacers. Frank Vogel, 2010 to 2016, with a .580 win percentage, 2 division titles, 5 playoff appearances, 1-time All-Star. And the other one is Rick Carlisle, 4 seasons with a .552 win percentage, a division title, 3 playoff appearances, 1-time All-Star coach. I mean, pretty much the same fucking guy.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same record, same stat. I mean, in my opinion, if we're going based off the Pacers, I give it to Carlisle because they kind of did the same amount of damage. If you were to expand Carlisle from 4 seasons to 6 seasons, I think he would have gotten 2 more playoff appearances and 1 more division title. I give it to Rick Carlisle because he did pretty much the same amount of damage without Paul George.
I give it to Frank Vogel because he did that damage with Paul George.
I give it to Vogel because I like his name.
I'm going to go Vogel on this one.
Did I kick the headphones out?
You guys still here?
Nah.
Nope.
Max, get on the ground. Get the headphones. Got a segment to do here. You fucking bitch. The mics still work, though, right?
They still work,
All right,
yeah.
cool. All right, on to the Miami Heat. This is a very intriguing one. Souls, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're going to start off with Patrick Riley. 1995 to 2003, and then again in 2005 to 2008 for 11 total seasons. A .535 win percentage, 6 division titles, 8 playoff appearances, 1-time Eastern Conference champion, 1-time NBA champion, 1-time Coach of the Year. And then second was Eric Spoelstra, who's been coaching since 2008 for 11-plus seasons, .593 win percentage, 6 division titles, 8 playoff appearances, 4-time Eastern Conference champion, 2-time NBA champion, 1-time All-Star, 1-time Coach of the Year. On paper, it's Eric Spoelstra without a doubt. But Eric Spoelstra also had the luxury of having arguably the most dominant big three in NBA history. Not that he's not a good coach. I think he's a fantastic coach. But Pat Riley is also an amazing coach. I mean, Pat Riley has the credentials that go above and beyond just the Miami Heat team. He's also a great general manager.
I'm giving it to Spoelstra because of what he did after those guys left. Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs or anything or whatever, but he kept them relevant. I think, without... LeBron left and the other 2 guys stayed, and I think, he kept them exactly where they were after Wade and Bosh. After Bosh got sick and Wade ended up leaving, I thought he did a fantastic job with the core that he had. I just think that it was a very good coaching job for him.
You can go back under the table if you want.
So,
I give it to Spoelstra as well for the reason that if Pat Riley won that championship with just Dwayne Wade, I'd be leaning more towards Pat Riley. But he also had Shaq, who was still very dominant at the time. Yeah. Plus, they had a very good cast around him. They had White Chocolate. They had Antoine Walker. They had Gary Payton. They had Udonis Haslem. They had a lot of good guys on that team.
I mean, my vote is for Pat Riley, just because of the success.
Because you're a white supremacist, you glory road-loving fuck.
That is irrelevant.
You know he was the point guard on the Kentucky team
that
played the Texas team?
Did not know that. Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, there's just too many, hip-hop lines about Pat Riley to be denied. So
that's true.
I mean, think about this. Any time that you could do, a line about the Heat, Pat Riley is one of the setup lines, or. So shout out to rap fans from 2004 on.
All right, moving on real quick. The Orlando Magic, Stan Van Gundy, 2007-2012 for 5 years, .657 win percentage, 3 division titles, 5 playoff appearances, 1-time Eastern Conference champion, and a 1-time Coach of the Year. And then Doc Rivers, 1999 to 2004, .504 win percentage, 3 playoff appearances, 1-time Coach of the Year. And the Coach of the Year that he won was extremely notable because he won it with a 500 record, but the team was slated to only win 8 games. And they were fighting for a playoff spot all the way. But I go Stan Van Gundy. He took again, kind of like the argument we made about that Cavs team. This Magic team had no business being in the finals. And the Spurs showed why. But he got him there. So
I choose Doc just because...
Of course you do. Because T-Mac.
No. He had T-Mac. But I didn't think that team was way worse than the team that Stan Van Gundy had. And ended up getting more out of them than any other coach would have. Which led him to the coach he is today.
Yeah, I give it to Stan Van Gundy. Took him to the finals. And it's not like that team was it's not like that team was leaps and bounds better.
Van Gundy.
Yeah, fuck you, Souls. All right, we got.
We still got another vote. I know.
Okay.
Atlanta Hawks. Mike Budenholzer, 2013-2018, 5 seasons, 520 win percentage, 1 division title, 4 playoff appearances, a one-time Coach of the Year, and a one-time All-Star coach. And then Mike Woodson, 6 seasons, 419 win percentage, 3 playoff appearances. I think it's a Budenholzer.
Budenholzer.
Souls?
I think I'm going to go with Budenholzer.
He just chimes back in after being silent for 45 minutes. Minus 10 points, Souls. All right, we're almost there, boys. The 2 worst ones we're going to go over here. The Washington Wizards, Scott Brooks, 3+ seasons, sub-500 record, 2 playoff appearances. And then Randy Whitman, 5 seasons, sub-500 record, 2 playoff appearances. I give it to Scott Brooks because he's been finding some success without John Wall. Just making Bradley Beal the superstar that he is.
Yeah.
Randy for being Walt's son.
All right, good enough. And then the Charlotte Hornets, Steve Clifford, 5 seasons, sub-500 record, 2 playoff appearances. And then Paul Silas, 6 seasons, sub-500 record, 4 playoff appearances.
Go with Paul Silas.
Yeah.
Paul.
Only because he had an 8-year gap in between. And there we have it. That's the NBA. So I think we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we're going to come in and we're going to have to try to steamroll through some NFL. We're going to save the bracket on coaches for next week. Because we're already running really... What time did we start? 8:30?
8:30.
I mean, so we're going to be running late as it is. So we're going to do NFL. We'll do some beer reviews and stuff, and then I think we'll save the bracket and stuff for next week. You guys cool with that?
Keep them, the listeners on the edge of the seat.
Yeah. Yeah. They're asleep.
They're asleep.
But we'll be back on Spreaker live here on PPRN Radio Network, Getting Sports with Drunk in 3 minutes.
Up on these niggas, you gotta be nice for what to these niggas? I understand. Gotta hit the club like you hit them angles. It's a short life.
You said you died for me. Give to me. Why won't you live for me?
Black Friday deals are now at Lowe's, and we're giving you the gift of huge savings. Stop in today and get up to 40% off select appliance special values, like a Samsung stainless steel French door refrigerator for $9.99. That's a $1,000 savings. Check off your gift list with your choice of a 227-piece Cobalt Mechanics tool set for $99, a $600 value if purchased separately, or get a Cobalt 24-volt max cordless brushless drill with battery, also just $99. This Black Friday, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through 12/5. Tools offer valid through 11/27. U.S. only.
No, I don't see it often. And I probably should have told you I heard this back. I know. And I probably shouldn't want this so bad. It's weighing on me. Don't wanna wake up in the morning. Cannot undo what we did in this bed. And I can't get you out, so I gotta go. No, I'm not ready for you. Want me all alone. But I'm undecided, excited, ignited. And I don't wanna feel the way I do, but I like it. Look at all these sparks flying, but I'm still indecisive. And she want me to wipe it, but I know I shouldn't be doing this, but here we go again. Girl, you know that pussy is my weakness. more. Hit it so good, think I propose. I don't know why I'm undecided, excited, ignited, and I don't wanna feel the way I do, but I like it. Look at all these things, but I'm still indecisive. You should want me to wipe it, but I'm undecided. Oh no, I'm undecided. Cause I'm undecided. No, no, baby. I'm afraid of your love. Oh, ooh, you got me, baby. Cause I can't get enough. I'm undecided, excited, ignited, and I don't wanna feel the way I do, but I like it. Look at all these sparks flying, but I'm still indecisive. You should want me to wipe it, but I'm undecided. But I'm undecided. I'm Orion, breezy. Yo, chick. What's it on that beat? Yo. If your chick come close to me, she ain't going home when she supposed to be. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to be. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to be. Oh, all my niggas close to me, and all them other niggas where they supposed to be. Oh, the hoes go for me. How your chicks in the pic like post for me. Oh, that's how I supposed to be. Yeah, that's how I supposed to be. Yeah, that's how I supposed to be. Everything look like it's supposed to be. Pull up to the club and it go up. Make your girl fall in love when I show up. It's not my fault, she wanna know me. She told me you was just a homie. She came down like she knew me. Gave it up like a groupie. And that's facts, no printer. Cold nigga turn the summer to the winter. She stayed me in her phone at bestie, but I had her screaming, oh. Yo, girl, wasn't supposed to text me. You wanna know how I know what I know? If your chick come close to me, she ain't going home when she supposed to be. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to be. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to be. Oh, all my niggas close to me, and all them other niggas where they supposed to be. Oh, the hoes go for me. How your chicks in the pic like post for me. Oh, that's how I supposed to be. Yeah, that's how I supposed to be. That's how I'm supposed to be. Everything good like it's supposed to be.
Got your girl in my section finna go up. A nigga smoking loud, I'm about to roll up. She ain't never got high like this with a guy like this. When she pop it, tell her hold up.
Better believe she gon' leave with a real nigga. I take her down, can't put it down like I do. I get the bus and no discussion, gotta deal with it. Team must swing, where about you? Murder, she wrote. Yeah, yeah. When I hit it, I'ma kill it, I'ma get it like murder, she wrote. You wanna know how I know what I know?
If your dude come close to me, he gon' wanna ride off and it goes for me. I'll make him do it. I might let your boy show for me, but he gotta eat the booty like groceries. But he gotta get rid of these hoes for me. I might have that nigga selling his soul for me. Ooh, that's how I'm supposed to be. If he wants me to expose the freak. Ooh, that's how I'm supposed to be. Ooh, that's how I'm supposed to be. Ooh, that's how I'm supposed to be. Everything good like it's supposed to be.
If your chick come close to me, she ain't going home when she supposed to be. Getting money like I'm supposed to be.
And now, back to getting sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by cool guys. Cool guys, all of them.
Fuck everything.
Souls?
Yeah. Fuck everything.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about right.
Souls, get off your fucking phone.
Sorry. Painful. So, Mass has got the last one with the NFL. He ended up having to do both teams.
Both divisions.
Whatever.
Conferences, whatever the fuck this is. Who cares? Everything sucks.
Well, maybe the Rams didn't suck ass. We wouldn't have this problem.
But they do, and we do have this problem, Kyle, so shut the fuck up.
The Lego movie. Everything is awful. Everything sucks when you're a fan of the Rams.
They bring you to a Super Bowl, get their ass kicked, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're the Rams, we're going to suck again.
Hey, Jared Goff hasn't been looking good. You know what that means? That means the comeback of, he's a Ram, he's a Ram, he's a Ram.
Fuck!
Could you imagine if that turned out to be true?
There would be zero moments in life where Mass wouldn't be hearing that song. I would make sure it was played everywhere.
Is Jared Goff the next Mark Bolger?
No, we made a joke that
I don't think Mark Bolger was that bad.
We made a joke that Kaepernick was going to go to the Rams, so the I'm
Years
the Man
ago.
song, it was the he's a Ram, he's a Ram, he's a Ram, and because Mass hated the I'm the Man song.
Aloe Black, yeah. It's a bad song, but it is
Well,
hilarious.
the thing was, is we had vault music that we had to play 2 tracks of,
Yeah.
and like every once in a while, like a notable CD, like somebody that like a top 40, whatever. So we would always play that because people would know it, because that's what somebody would tune in and it's like it's great you want to support the local bands, but sometimes people would tune into the radio station, they'd hear a band that is like plays out of their garage in Agawam, Mass, and they'd be like, "The fuck is this garbage?" Because like for me, I can't tell you how many times. Like one time I played one of those side tracks. It was like grungy, like basement metal, and then it went into Mungo Jerry after that. Pretty hard to convince people to stay on your show after that. All right, so Mass, you dumb bitch.
I am a dumb bitch because I support this dumb bitch of a team. Where do we want to start, the NFC or the AFC?
I would like it if you started with the AFC South.
All right. Well,
mostly because you didn't know the Titans were in there.
Oof.
I had been drinking.
Discredibility.
I had been
Everything
drinking.
is awful. Everything is bad when
I guess
you
we're going off
love
the
the
Titans?
Rams.
What?
Sure got a beer when I was up.
Yeah, Kyle, why don't you grab me a beer? You want the other one of these paper umbrellas? It's not really coconutty.
I'd like to try it.
You gotta get some hint of pineapple in there. It's kind of weird. I really shouldn't have a third one because I'm kind of like blind to my left eye right now. You ever get that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're the wrong guy to ask. You ever get
That's going to be complete. Fuck this game!
Was that a bounce, you fucking over dramatic ass?
They call it a catch.
It's not a catch. Go back.
Is that Earl Boykin?
Yeah, point guard for the. Oh, that's catch.
That's an inbounds catch.
Ball did move a little bit.
So we're not doing the NFL thing.
We better call Mike Pereira on a different a different.
And
broadcast.
it's a face mask.
Hey, ass.
Fuck you.
Mass.
Hey. It's so dumb. Oh, that's funny. Listen, this is a radio show. The gaming...
Colts. One answer. Tony Dungy.
Like, he was the first black guy to win a Super Bowl, you racist.
Tony Dungy was 85-27 in his career as the Indianapolis head coach. Shut up.
Head coach.
Can't hear anything with my headset right now.
That's really unfortunate for you.
can't
85
hear
and
out of your
27. That's a 759 winning percentage. That's fucking nuts. Never had a year where he didn't go to the playoffs.
Jim Caldwell?
Inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a head coach. That's pretty cool.
Tony Dungy is my pick.
If there's any other pick, you're wrong.
Frank Reich.
You're still wrong. Ball?
He drafted Quentin Nelson.
He didn't draft Quentin
Jim
Nelson.
Caldwell did take them to the Super Bowl a second time in that span. But
well, congratulations to I want to give congratulations real quick to Kyle and Kendall. I am now a deep hater of the Ravens of Baltimore.
Good.
I was in second place in my FanDuel league, the kicker one, where you picked a kicker from each tier, and then one just random fucking player. I picked Lamar Jackson. I'm 0.2 points from first place, and they benched Lamar Jackson.
Rip.
All he needed all he needed was 5 more rushing yards, and I would have had that, and he got in first place. So it would have been $8 more, which not a big fucking deal, but
still.
All right, so Frank Vogel.
Yep.
No, so yeah, Tony Dungy. I mean,
is there another answer? No.
Chuck Pagano.
I mean, good stint for sure.
Texans.
Vrabel. He just signed. They're going to the Super Bowl already.
All right, so
whatever the head coach was that put up with Matt Schwab, the guy must be a saint. No pun intended.
That was Gary Kubiak.
Good coordinator.
Yeah.
Bad coach.
So Bill O'Brien, first one, has a 49-42 record, good for a .538 winning percentage. He's gone to the playoffs 3 out of 6 years he's been coaching. Hasn't really done anything exceedingly notable besides that. He is a terrible GM, so there's that. Then you got Gary Kubiak, 61-64 in his time, and went to the playoffs 2 out of 9 years while he was there.
Yeah. Gary Kubiak is just one of the, like every league has its issues. NBA is like you find a really good head coach that you keep for 8 years, but after a while the conference semifinals aren't getting it done for you, so you let him go on the risk that you're going to find something better. Football's is, hey, this guy was A+ at coordinating. Let's take a shot at his coaching skills. And more times than not so good. Yeah. Gary Kubiak, great coordinator. Pretty meh coach.
Bill O'Brien's got a better playoff record?
Yes.
Bill O'Brien.
I give it to Bill O'Brien.
Give it to Bill O'Brien because you had to deal with Tom Savage.
Tom Savage is the GOAT, by the way.
All right.
No, he is a GOAT.
Then we move to the Jags. Number 1, we have Doug Marrone.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the way you said that. Doug Marrone. He said it like it's like the distant cousin of the Barone.
He's 20-25 with the .444 winning percentage, and he's been to the playoffs 1 out of 4 years he's been there.
He's 2/3 of the devil.
Next up, we have Jack Del Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Del Rio. I don't even care what the stats are.
All right.
Because Doug Marrone is blech.
All right, so we're moving to the Titans.
Jeff Fisher, baby.
Is there another
Fisher,
answer?
Baby.
I got nothing.
I have a vote coming for him later as well.
All right, so Jeff Fisher, 142 and 120 in his career for the Titans.
Yeah, fucking baller.
.542 winning percentage. Went to the playoffs 6 out of 17 years.
Jeff Fisher looks like the dad that shares a beer with like his daughter's prom date.
Before the prom.
At the prom.
Does anybody else have any contentions? The only other person I was going to think to put in is Vrabel, and he's only been there a season.
Oh, I just won. Never mind. I forgot I had Tucker.
What about Wade Phillips? He was there.
He was, but I didn't think he was worthy enough compared to everybody else that was there.
All right.
We'll move to the AFC North. The Bills. Sean McDermott.
Well, that's another shot for you, Jackwagon.
Why?
AFC East.
AFC East. Yep.
Oh, real quick, I saw something pretty funny that you said the AFC North, though. Mason Rudolph's having a real rough November against them. The Ravens knocked him out. The Browns tried to kill him. Or what was it? It was the Ravens knocked him out. The Browns knocked his head.
And the Bengals
knocked him out.
Yeah. Not doing good in the division.
I forget what it was.
All right.
It was really funny, though.
Bills. Sean McDermott. Currently 23-20. Has been in the playoffs 1 out of 3 years. Defenses have looked pretty good. Here's a throwback name, Dick Duran.
I remember him.
Yeah. 24-33 as a head coach. Never made the playoffs, so I think this one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, Sean McDermott's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely turned that team around from kind of being in the middle to being a contender.
All right. Jets.
Herm Edwards. That's it.
Anybody else?
Mangini?
I mean, Rex Ryan took him to 2 AFC championships.
Ryan was the other head coach. Ryan had a 46-50 record, made the playoffs 2 out of 6 years. Herm Edwards was 39-41 and made playoffs 3 out of 5.
You know, it's interesting. I think that the Herm Edwards teams were better, but Rex Ryan
did pretty well with Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe was a better motivator. If that
Defenses were pretty good. Always gave the Patriots a pretty hard time.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand by Herm Edwards though.
Okay.
I'll give it to Herm.
Paul.
Herm.
All right, Herm it is. All right.
You play to win the game.
To the bottom of the barrel, Dolphins. So we have Tony Sperano, who was 29-32, made the playoffs once. And then you had Joe Philbin, who was 24-28. And that's literally the only thing notable about his stint.
Sperano, he had a mustache.
All right.
Yeah, the players didn't hate him as much.
Paul?
I don't have a comment on this. This is the Charlotte Hornets we're doing here, and I don't really. I did enough suffering.
All right, so finishing out the division, Patriots, Belichick. Moving on.
It's a shame that there isn't someone else we could talk about.
Belichick.
Yeah.
That is the conversation for the entire AFC. AFC North, you get start off with the Steelers. Tomlin has been 130-71-1 during his time as a coach. Good for a career 646 winning percentage. He's been to the playoffs in 8 out of 13 seasons. Won Super Bowl 43, and interestingly enough, was named the Dapper Dan Sportsman of the Year in 2008.
Now, what is that award?
Let's find out what that is.
Sounds made up.
I found it on Wikipedia.
Sounds like an internet thing to me.
I'll tell you in a second. Dapper Dan charities were founded by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette editor Al Abrams in 1936. It is one of the oldest nonprofit and fundraising communities in the sports world. So
it's legit.
Yeah.
Not
So
a
he won
great
that.
name. Not a great name, but
and then you had Bill Cowher. Got 149-90 record, playoffs 10 out of 15 seasons, won Super Bowl 40, and was Coach of the Year in 92.
I've always been a Cowher guy. It's a bias. I just think that he's better.
I'm going with Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
And I'm saying that because of pretty much he's been through a lot of adversity, and he's done a very good job of overcoming it. I mean, granted, Cal wouldn't let that happen, but Mike Tomlin, I think, done a very good job of.
I like Tomlin a lot. I think it was a perfect hire.
And he's never had a losing record.
Yeah, it's true.
That's not true. I believe. Oh, you said Tomlin didn't have a losing record. I apologize. I was about to say Cowher had 1 year of a losing record. I think he was 6-10.
I think 6-10 1 year.
Yeah, then he got Ben.
Paul?
See, I want to go with Tomlin, but the guy can't win a challenge. And that's like a pretty big
He won
coaching.
2
move.
this year.
Yeah, so now he's what, 2 for 80?
Hey, it's better than 0 for 82.
No, not really. I want to go with Tomlin.
I'm going to go with Cowher. Tomlin won his Super Bowl with Cowher's guys.
Rebecca?
Yeah, but Tomlin also took a team to the Super
Bill
Bowl.
Cowher,
without
Mike
Cowher's
Tomlin.
guys.
Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher. All right. Let's see.
I'm okay with either one, just saying.
Well, now you got both.
I'm actually trying to find Tomlin's challenge. He is 34 for 76.
I don't know if that's bad.
Sorry, this is St. Louis Rams logo with a paper bag over its head, and then this is LA Rams, and it's the same paper bag except this is Gucci.
Yeah, that's about right. All right, so AFC continuing with the Ravens.
Harbaugh.
Done. Anybody else?
Brian Billick. He was also a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, but the Ravens' defense was like amazing that year.
Yeah, but he's the reason why, though.
I know. I prefer Billick over Harbaugh.
Who's the better coach consistently, though?
So
you can't just say you prefer somebody and go with the other guy.
No. But I need to know if so the Browns became the Ravens.
Yep.
If he was there when the Browns were the Browns.
No.
Okay.
He was first head coach in 1999. That was the Ravens' 4th season as the Ravens.
All right, Brian Billick.
Okay, Souls.
I'm going Brian Billick.
All right, Paul.
Billick.
All right, Billick it is. Let's see. Bengals.
Marvin Lewis.
All right.
As embarrassing as that is to say,
he's also the worst coach of all time.
Well, you say that. But then we get to the Cleveland Browns, and I legitimately could not find a head coach since 2000 to put on this list.
What about in 2010? Was it 2010?
I don't think anybody had anything over .33.
Who was the coach that took us to the playoffs in 04?
With Tim Couch?
2002.
All right, so listen, just for the sake of this, I'm going to give you guys the list of the Browns head coaches since 2000, okay?
That's not going to matter.
Chris Palmer, Butch Davis, Terry Robeski, Romeo Crennel, Eric Mangini, Pat Shermer, Rob Chudzinski,
Rod Carew,
Mike Pettin, Hugh Jackson, Greg Williams, and Freddie Kitchen. Do you have anybody on there that you would actually put on?
Yeah, Butch Davis.
Can we put
because he went to the playoffs?
Who was the defensive coordinator that took over last year?
Greg Williams.
Can we put him on there? I mean,
I offered it. I just said it.
The Browns were pretty good under him. They just fucked up by not keeping him.
Yeah, he was. They were 5.
I give it to him.
They were 5-3 under him for the end of the season.
I give it to him.
Greg Williams.
Bush.
Wrapped.
Are we actually going with Greg Williams?
Yeah. Even though, fuck Greg Williams, but still. All right, AFC West. Broncos. You got Kubiak, who was there for 2 years, went 21-11, and won Super Bowl 50, and then retired.
Peyton Manning won that Super Bowl.
No, Peyton Manning's corpse got dragged across the line for that Super Bowl. Mike Shanahan was there for most of the 90s, but also played into the 2000s, so I counted him. Shanahan went 138-86.
So you only got 13 wins.
Went to the playoffs. Went to the playoffs 7 out of 14 season and won 2 Super Bowls in 97 and 98.
I go Mike Shanahan. He was a good coach.
Yeah,
he just unfortunate.
Plus, the other thing too is not that Gary Kubiak wasn't a good coach, but he also benefited from the defense that John Fox built.
Yeah, and he had Peyton Manning.
The corpse of Peyton Manning.
Yeah, Mike Shanahan.
All right. Chiefs.
Andy Reid.
All right. Andy Reid went 96 has gone 96-65 so far and has been to the playoffs 5 out of 7 years. Has made it to the AFC Championship game. Is the farthest he's made it as the Chiefs head coach. The only other one that I could really find that was decent in that time was Dick Vermeil, and that's a throwback. Vermeil
with the Rams.
went to, Vermeil was 44-36 with went to the playoffs 1 year during his tenure. I believe he was there for 4 years. And I think the answer to this one is pretty obvious.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Raiders.
Him. It's him.
Who, Cutler?
John Gruden.
All right, so do we want stats or are we just...
Rio.
All right, so we're going to read these. Gruden went 38-26 in his first stint, I'm counting. and went to the playoffs 2 out of 4 years. Del Rio went 25 and 23 and went to the playoffs 1 out of 3 seasons.
Gruden.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. There's 2 other people. 2 other people.
We talked Tom Cable for a second.
We are not talking Tom Cable.
Who's the head coach that took Gannon to the Super Bowl?
Oh my God.
Was it his son, Mark Davis?
No, I can't remember his name.
It wasn't his fault they lost the Super Bowl. It was Rich Cannon's fault.
I mean,
What
unfortunately,
did he
that
throw?
was
5 picks?
Yeah, I thought something like that. But that's like the only thing he ever did. Not that he took a team to the Super Bowl. It's nothing. But it was kind of
Bill
like
Callahan.
yeah, that was kind of like a one and done thing.
Okay, Lion.
We're going with Gruden?
Gruden. Chargers.
Norv Turner. No, I don't believe that. Marty Schottenheimer's my guy.
Okay.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Anthony Lynn.
Oh God.
Anthony Lynn is 25 and 18. He's been to the playoffs 1 year. Marty Schottenheimer was 47 and 33. Went to the playoffs 2 out of 5 and won Coach of the Year in 2004.
Marty Schottenheimer never should have been fired after the 06 season. Never should have been fired. It's the biggest crime in.
It's what Denver tried to do with John Fox.
Or Lovie Smith with the Bears.
Yes. So, Schottenheimer?
Schottenheimer. That team went in the toilet right after he was fired.
Yeah. All right. Have I gone through all of the AFC now? Yes. All right.
Yes.
NFC.
We're starting with the NFC West, the Giants.
The NFC West, the Giants. You want to go ahead and take a shot?
He was mocking you.
All right.
Thank you, Paul.
Take a shot. We will start with.
Well, technically, I'm not wrong if I said the NOS because the Giants are in the NOS, but let's just not go there.
I follow. I knew where you were going.
So the NFC North. Green Bay Packers really only had one guy, McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy. Whatever, Mike McCarthy.
All right. Chicago Bears, I would say, only also had one person.
Lovie Smith.
No
Yep.
problem there.
All right. Minnesota Vikings.
Zimmer
or Childress?
Zimmer.
Ooh, Brian Childress, grossest guy in America.
Brad Childress, but
grossest guy in America.
He got a mole on the left side of his face.
Remember that WWE girl Jillian that had the big mole on her face that like the boogeyman bit off?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was hot.
Oh God.
Yeah. Zimmer.
I'm excited for this one. Go ahead.
that was it. Zimmer or Childress?
What's up with the Lions?
All right.
Well, nobody voted except for me.
I said Zimmer.
You didn't.
No, you didn't. You said
I
Childress.
said Childress, grossest guy in America.
I'm going Childress.
Josh Childress.
You're wrong.
Yeah, and Zimmer.
They suck, both of them.
Detroit Lions. Is it really anybody but Caldwell?
What was the year when they went 0-16? I want him.
I think it was Caldwell.
Was it? Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think it was.
No, I think he's right.
It's not.
Who is it then?
Lions.
Bo
Not
Callahan?
Jim Caldwell, I can tell you that. He came out the year after.
Lions 16 was Marinelli.
Yeah, suck it, Ken.
Wow, you just threw a pick.
Yeah, Goff is fucking terrible.
Okay. Nope, here we go. We're going back into the end.
Marcus Peters.
Did he really?
No, Jimmy Smith.
All right. I'm actually kind of upset it wasn't Marcus Peters. Are you sure that's not Marcus Peters?
Yeah, 22, Jimmy Smith. No, 21. Peters is 24.
Oh, there he is. He's all right. All right. Is there anybody but Caldwell?
No. I mean, there's nobody really, honestly, to be honest with you.
All right. NFC.
When the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has won the NFC North more recently than the Lions, you don't really have anything to talk about.
No. Would just I don't understand. Just
go with the coaches.
All right. NFC South. Saints.
Sean Payton.
Yeah.
All right. Carolina Panthers.
John Fox.
Are you serious?
I kind of agree.
So John Fox was 73 and 71, went to the playoffs 3 out of 8 years. Ron Rivera is 76-62, made the playoffs 4 out of 9 years, and made it to Super Bowl 50.
Ron Rivera.
John Fox made it to the Super Bowl.
Has he?
So did Ron Rivera.
They lost to the Patriots.
I didn't think Fox was the coach for that year.
He was.
Ron Rivera.
Going with Big Bad Ron.
All right. Riverboat Ron it is.
Guys, Super Bowl ring. John Fox doesn't.
Now, does anyone really call him Riverboat Ron?
I don't know.
That was his name on the 85 Bears.
I did not know that.
Jeff Fisher was also a member of the 85 Bears.
Yes, the best member of the
That plaque was...
That's the greatest plaque ever.
All right.
Too bad you guys couldn't kick one of those 60-point field goals.
Yeah, no kidding. Bucks.
Gruden.
John Gruden.
Yep.
I mean,
Gruden was 57-55, made the playoffs 5 years.
It wasn't his team.
And won Super Bowl 37.
But it wasn't his team.
Who's the other one?
I forget the guy's name. Who was the coach before him?
I can't remember. Oh, well, it was Tony Dungy. It was
Yeah.
Tony Dungy's team, technically. Paul's right, but it's Gruden, like, kind of just by circumstance. It's just...
I guess.
Bruce.
Because
Bruce.
Dungy put
Bruce.
that team together.
Oh. Marcus Peters and Jalen Ramsey shit talk. I like that.
Yeah, you also got traded here, but we're not even doing anything like Mika Fitzpatrick. Who's the wrong team? Kyle, imagine if you had all three of them.
I would like a shot, if that's okay.
No.
Because by some unlikely happening, I beat Tyler. Which means
Atlanta Falcons.
I'm okay.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Smith. Anybody?
Well, Mike Smith was my father.
Yeah.
So, Mike Smith.
Dan Quinn.
66-46 and 589 win percentage. Made playoffs 4 out of 7 years. Kind of gave Dan Quinn his team. Same argument.
But Dan Quinn went to a Super Bowl.
There.
Should have won that Super Bowl.
Should have. Didn't.
Thanks. Thanks for saying things everybody already knew.
You should have won the Super Bowl, but you didn't.
Yeah, I know.
NFC East.
But I did.
Eagles.
Eagles?
Eagles.
I would probably still give it to Andy Reid.
Yep.
Like, even though Doug Peterson won a title, Andy Reid had better.
So Reid was 130.
Doug Peterson's a better play caller than he's a coach.
So Reid was 130-93. Made the playoffs 8 out of 12 years. Made it to the championship game 4 times, and then lost Super Bowl 39, and was voted Coach of the Year in 2002.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid has more success than Doug Marrone. The only thing Doug Marrone has is the winning
Peterson.
side of the Super Bowl.
Peterson.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Which I know is big, but it's not like Andy Reid. Andy Reid made it to a Super Bowl, so it's not like he's light. And Andy Reid he's a legit quarterback whisperer. The guy fucking made Michael Vick a household name again. And anybody who can do that to the Giants on Christmas is awesome.
Cowboys.
Jason Garrett.
Wade Phillips is also there. Phillips was 34-22 and made the playoffs 2 out of 4 years.
Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett made the playoffs 3 out of 9.
Wade Phillips.
I give it to Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett's been plagued with injuries. I mean, the best player on offense and defense every year is out.
I like Wade Phillips better, but I'm going to give it to Jason Garrett because
I give it to
presumably
Wade.
they'll make it again.
If you're going with Wade, Phil. Who are we talking
Wade, I mean Phil. All right, so we're moving on
So
now.
I guess it's Jason.
Jason Garrett.
Giants.
Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin.
All right.
Pat Shermer. McAdoo.
Tom Coughlin.
McAdoo close second.
Yeah, Eli Manning didn't deserve to have that starting streak keep going anyway because he sucks.
Redskins. This one was tough.
Jay Gruden.
Jim Zorn.
Jay Gruden.
And he has a record of 35-49 and made the playoffs in 1
Yeah,
year during his
do you
tenure.
see the team they
I
gave him?
know, but it's just
Did you even look at Jim Zorn's line?
Yeah, but you know what though? He was
Yes.
his entire time as a Redskin was always in the playoff hunt.
yes.
Always in the playoff hunt. He wasn't putting a team on the field like this year.
I'm just happy that another Gruden one.
Yeah. Don't forget Steve Gruden. Their sister.
Steve Guttenberg?
No, Steve, their sister. Short for Stephanie.
All right.
That's it.
West.
Jeff Fisher.
Martz. 53 and 32.
Who?
Mike Martz.
For what team?
Rams.
Rams. Greatest show
Oh.
on Rams.
Oh.
Mike
Pull,
Martz.
like, what?
53 and 32. Went to the playoffs 4 out of 6 years and lost Super Bowl 36.
Why'd you cut him?
I hate Mike Martz. Sean McVay.
Never even saw him coach.
30 and 12.
Wait a minute. So 2 guys that lost the Super Bowl are our competition, but the guy that won the Super Bowl isn't?
Vermeil won in 99.
Dick Vermeil?
Dick Vermeil, yeah. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams.
But did he win it in 99?
It was the 99 season. That's why I didn't include him.
But he won it in 2000.
See, this is the one time that I think Vermeil deserves over everybody else.
No, Jeff Fisher for Danes. I'm not even voting for it. It doesn't matter. It's Jeff Fisher.
That is funny.
All right, so are we ignoring the stipulation and giving it to Vermeil?
Yeah, Jeff Fisher for sure, bro.
I mean, Fisher's on my list. He's on multiple team lists for me.
I would give it to Sean McVay out of those two.
Sean McVay is 30 and 12, playoffs 2 out of 3 years, lost Super Bowl 53, and won Coach of the Year in 17.
Mats.
Who are you saying between the two of? Martz and McVay?
Mats.
So
I'll give it to Mats over Vermeil.
You could say his name right to start.
What is it?
Martz.
Yeah. John Mats.
If that's it, I'll take Mike Martz over.
Okay.
Martz.
Who do we go with?
The guy
Who am I going
drafted
with?
Torrey Holt and
I
got
don't
Kurt
care.
Warner in the same fucking
Marks?
year.
Niners. Steve Mariucci.
No.
57 and 39, went to the playoffs 4 out of 6 years.
Cool.
Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh. 44 and 19.
These are options.
Yes. Playoffs 3 out of 4 years and lost Super Bowl 47. I can throw Singletary in there if you want him.
Please do.
He was terrible. And like the best part was the defense was so bad.
Who are we talking about?
The 49ers.
49ers.
He has Harbaugh versus
Mariucci.
Mariucci.
Anybody?
Then I guess Mariucci. Because, hey, look, great, you took your team.
Harbaugh went to the Super Bowl.
I mean, great. We did a Super Bowl once in playoffs, twice?
3 out of 4 years.
It was 3 out of 4. I thought it was 2 out of 4.
No, 3 out of 4.
Wasn't your standard bearer for all the other sports if they made it to the finals? That's like enough for you.
It is.
Yeah, but he hates Harbaugh.
Yeah, but
Why?
No, I don't hate Harbaugh.
Yes, he does.
I give it to John Harbaugh. I think he was a good coach.
That would be
I
Jim.
just think I think he's a good coach. I just think that he was too hot-headed for that team. I think he would have done better with a more physical style of team. I think that he would. I think he would have pulled more success out of the Ravens in the same amount of time that John's been there.
I give it to Harbaugh.
It's just more like nitty-gritty.
I like Har.
Yeah. Both of them.
I like cars.
Seahawks.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
Mike Holmgren was also there.
Pete Carroll.
I know, I like Mike Holmgren, but Pete Carroll.
All right.
Bruce Arians.
All right, we're done. I mean,
No,
Wizen Hunt went to the Super Bowl.
So no Ken Wisenhunt?
Wizen Hunt's on there. All right, so I'll do it just for the sake of it. Arians was 49 and 32, went to the playoffs 2 out of 5 years, and won Coach of the Year.
I like both those guys.
You pick Wisenhunt. You never are on a team of Madden again.
Well, that's not fair.
And guess who's the head coach on those Madden teams?
Who?
Bruce Arians. And you won't get to see his pictures anymore.
I do like Bruce Arians. I do have an autographed picture from Ken Wisenhunt, though.
You didn't get an autograph, though.
I didn't get an autograph.
Your dad got an autograph.
We're done. Wrap it up. Everybody go home. Life sucks.
No, your life sucks.
Fuck
We're in the
you.
wild card right now, buddy.
My life also sucks. This one.
We're not going to be there very long, but we're there.
Oh, you guys are getting bounced for sure.
We don't know yet. However, grab a shot?
No.
Why?
At the end of the show.
All right, fine.
Rebecca said no.
Since when do you side with her? I am offended.
30 seconds ago when she paid me.
Better get all that money.
She showed him the back of her knee.
Give me the money.
Show me the money.
4 million cents.
Beer reviews? So yeah, next week we'll do a bracket on all the 4 sports. We'll talk about it amongst ourselves over the week.
And yes, Jeff Fisher will be on this one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
And probably both Grudens.
So I guess I'll start. Beer review.
Yeah, sure.
The Riddler got me Miller High Life, my favorite beer of all time.
You don't have to let everybody know.
Because you're a psycho.
Suck my dick already.
I had 2 of the champagne bottles. Delicious. Easy to drink a beer. Even if ice cold, it wasn't. Got through it, no problem. Closing out here tonight with the Goose Island.
Paper umbrella.
A coconut something or other.
It's a tropical IPA.
It's not as bad as I anticipated. Whenever I hear coconut, I'm like immediately turned off. But this is fine. It's tasty. 4.5%. And my mic's hacking up, so I'm going to tone it down. That's all I have to say about that.
Souls?
I had the ever so loving Super Duper Double Citra. It was quacktastic, as the kids call it these days. It was very citrusy, which I really like. It had a good... Didn't have a strong aftertaste, which is always good. I love it. I love it a lot. Thank you, Paulus. I said bourbon.
I had.
What? He's right, you know.
I had this, and I hated it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it.
You know, the
Could have
kid
drank
bought you
more
a
with it.
present, and you hear bitch about it. You know what, Paul? Kick him in the nuts.
Please do.
I don't have to. The Rams are already doing that.
Yep.
That's all you had to say? What about the bourbons you had?
What was this one?
Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit.
I like that. That was good.
You didn't like the other ones?
I'm not there yet.
Did
Put
you
some hair
try
in
the
your chest,
Balvenie
huh?
14 year?
Yes.
And?
I enjoyed it. But this
Put some
this
hair in
was-
your
this
chest.
was
So maybe
not-
you're a Scotch drinker, not a bourbon drinker. Good for you. Way more expensive habit. It's like the Coke of alcohol. I had 3 of the paper umbrellas from Goose Island. Like I said, tropical IPA, 4.4%. 38 IBUs, 4.5%, sorry. Coconutty, pineapple-y, hoppy paradise. Not very coconutty. You do get a little bit of the pineapple hint. Definitely kind of disappears more as it gets cold. It's not my favorite Goose Island beer, but I can tell it's a well-crafted beer. I'd give it 3 stars and maybe would get it again. I think it's a good hot beer, hot weather beer.
It's smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth. Kendall, do you wish to review any of the browns that you had?
So I only had the opportunity to have one today. I had
okay.
the Scotch.
The Little Bay? Oban Little Bay?
As an amateur Scotch drinker, a big fan of Scotches, I have not delved greatly into it. For what is considered a Scotch made of lesser, you described it better than I. It's like a blend of Scotches that weren't good enough to make the cut of the.
Yeah. So it was just like it's the not that they're not good enough to make the cut. It's just not going the direction they want it to go.
So
because the 14's a staple and it's a single. It's an age statement Scotch. So there's got to be, even though there's variant, there's got to be some consistency to it.
So this is bottled otherwise. And,
yeah, so it's a blend. So there's some 8-year in it, there's some 10-year in it.
And it's very tasty. It hits like many of the notes. Like I had kind of that fruit aspect that you had mentioned.
The dried apricot.
Very good. And for me, not this was a particularly smoky, but there has kind of like that note that it hits you very early in the mouth, if you will. And I enjoyed it a lot.
Souls?
I'd like to hit you in the mouth.
I already went.
Oh, not nice.
No, what'd you have about the Oban? What'd you think?
With my penis.
Oh, come on.
Not your
It's a
style.
family show.
I don't really remember it.
All right. Fair to say.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
Matt, Mock, where can they find us?
They can find us at, I don't know.
They can find us at GSWD/_4.
Yes, all those things.
Bear.
You can find us at Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with the Drunk.
Also on Spreaker.
You can find us at Twitter, GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's sipping an array of fine brown liquors or enjoying some beers that your friend got you. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Also on Spreaker.
The Riddler came through big time tonight on beer, and we are very appreciative. Basically, he did it like a reverse birthday, which is kind of interesting.
Well, I knew you guys weren't getting me gifts, so I got you gifts.
Whoa.
I got you a gift.
You didn't get me shit.
Do you want me to tell you?
Kyle, this is his
I
threat.
didn't get you
Do you want me to tell you what I got? You want me to pull up a picture off Amazon of something I bought?
Hold on, let me search for it real quick.
Nope.
Oh, Chicago Bears all-time jersey.
Just every name and number just a blend together. But listen, I do plan on getting you as much Bourbon County is available. I'm sorry I'm not going to be... Well, just because I'm not going to be...
We'll talk about it another time.
Yeah. But anyway, any platform that you can find an internet radio show, podcast we're on, Spreaker is our base. We are on...
It's Bourbon County season, by the way.
Yes. Hey,
Also Spreaker.
If you buy a Bourbon County and send it to GSWD, we will send you postage. And that's it.
No, I'll pay you for it.
Send if you get Bourbon County anywhere in the U.S., if you listen to this show and you can get your hands on Bourbon County...
If you're in Chicago and you can get some of the shit from the brewery, I'll pay you triple what you paid for it.
Send us a direct message on any of our social media. Because we care. iTunes, iHeart, Google Play, anything. We're on all forms of where you can podcast. YouTube, you name it. YouTube, our page is coming live again very soon. We have some content on the way, so be on the looks for that as well.
The Ravens knocked Rudolph out, or knocked him unconscious. The Browns knocked him on his head. The Bengals knocked him out of a job.
There you have it.
And I believe, I'm just telling them this now, we're going to shoot for January 11th for our first YouTube video.
That's not true.
Got some time.
I'm not doing outside shit in January.
Doesn't have to be outside.
You remember that?
All right, we're going to do a 30-rack competition.
Remember the
drinking games.
The Nike commercial, Snow Day commercial?
Yeah.
We could do that.
Nope. Fine, but you're Ndamukong Suh.
Oh.
I'm Rob Gronkowski. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to another live episode of Getting Sports with Drunk. We hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If not, enjoy your Thursday. And we'll be live next week for the first episode in December. We're getting to Christmas season.
Which means winter meetings in 2 weeks.
We're also going to be picking names out of a hat next week for Getting Sports with Drunk Secret Santa.
That's a thing?
It is now. But yeah, make sure to tune in every Monday for live fun stuff here on Getting Sports with Drunk. Until next time, I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler. Nope.
Big Ball of Souls.
I'm your boy, Benny Frank.
So happy.
And I'm the Red Baron.
No.